Hello everyone and welcome to Dungeons and Dragons. Today we're going to be starting episode 7. Sorry for the delays. I was a bit sick, so I needed some 1 week rest or a little bit of R&R. So today we're going to be starting the story where the heroes actually journey out from Onahole, but they just got to walk out of the main gates when they actually decided to actually where to actually head further next. Will they be going straight towards the east of the desert or going south looking for Tyrson's mother, which is apparently still looking for him and apparently have not come back? Or will the heroes actually decide to actually head straight to the slavers' camp and decide what to do from there? So, outside of the gates of Onahole, Durotan, Tyrson, Varius, Elgen, and Waruay just walk out of the town gates itself. The heat is immense the moment they actually step foot into the desert lands. But it is here that they stop temporarily and to decide on which to do. So now we're going to be moving from left to right, from Durotan all the way to Waruay. Alright, Durotan, what do you do?
I just simply look at them as we're walking and we're like we haven't chosen a destination. That's when I say to them,
Uh, which way are we going? Are we going to the slavers' camp, or where exactly? I mean, the desert is not exactly a small place to start, so where are we going?
facing like everybody.
Durotan, I would like to go south to see my mother and maybe negotiate getting some business with the slavers.
Okay. Any objections from the rest?
No, sounds fine to me.
Okay. South it is, then. Let's hope the
But
Yep.
I would like to find an Ankeg queen and bring it back.
With our
But-
luck, we can stumble upon it.
That's true, Durotan.
I mean, we're not exactly, subtle when walking on the desert, and besides, you kinda are an NKEK attraction. You will attract a queen for sure. Anyway, let's head on. The desert is not exactly going to wait for us.
Okay, anybody else want to say something?
Before we headed out to the gates, would I have been able to have time to go to the alchemist and ask them about this potion that we found back in the temple?
Yeah, you can actually. Actually head towards the alchemist to actually talk to the alchemist about regarding what you know. You can actually head back, and you can tell the rest of the party before you move on whether you want to go back to the alchemist.
Guys, just give me a second. I want to see what this is. And he pulls out like a green potion that I don't believe anyone has seen before. And I share a look with Tyrson.
Sure. We don't mind.
I don't mind waiting. I do need to talk to Formidor after all, after the meal we had in the day. I just forgot.
Right. Yeah, I'll head back over
am I
to
back?
him.
Okay. All right. So Elgin and who was it just now? They actually wanted to go to Formidor.
Oh, can you see me now?
We can
Yep,
hear
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. My mic hasn't been working for the last moment. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll go with him to the alchemist.
All right. Okay. Was it Waruay?
Yeah, Waruay.
All right. Okay. Waruay and Elgen decide to actually head towards Formidor, telling the rest of the party that you needed to do some
Tyrson.
stuff. Okay, and Tyrson, that you needed to just do some stuff before actually heading further forward. All right. Okay. The moment you actually reach the alchemist, you see the female alchemist actually like hailing you and then looking at the rest of you, and Formidor just standing outside the door, and while they just finished talking to perhaps a few customers, they actually just bump and cross your way. And then the moment you actually arrive, Formidor actually stares at the three of you the moment you actually arrive, and then he speaks out and said, "What can I do for you? I'm here to buy some potions before you head out." He actually speaks out. His hood still covering his face. Actually, his staff still glowing with some sort of mystical energy, as you actually notice, and his dark cloak seems to be covering his body itself. You do see at least two daggers like dangling at the side of his belt. And of course, the only thing other than that, you see only his lips moving as he actually points his fingers at the three of you. And then, alright, Elgen, you spot Formidor, stares at you. You can see your two companions, Waruay and Tyrson, standing side by side. What do you want to do, Elgen?
Formidor, we're just about to head out, but we come across some potion makers. We happen to be able to grab a couple of them. Would you mind telling us what these are? And he pulls out that green potion. And shows it to Formidor.
He looks at the green potion and he looks at it. I know what this is. He looks at you, but I don't just simply identify potions for free. You know, if you want to know what this thing does, it's really not that difficult. Unless, of course, you want to find out the hard way, or you can find out the easy way. The easy way is perhaps by payment. The hard way is, of course, for you consuming. What do you do, Elgen?
You, Formidor.
What do you say?
Couldn't you do this out of, good nature?
He looks at you. Good nature, you say. Right, since you're the only one asking, roll for persuasion with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh.
He touches the bottom of his cheek slowly and then rubbing it down. Well, even though I know you for quite some time, young Elgen, but sadly, no. Business is business. So if you really want to find out what this thing does, well, a simple 4 gold pieces will perhaps tell you what it is.
I go to grab the potion back off him, and I say maybe another time. And I go to walk away.
Alright, after that you did that, then you walk away. Okay, Waruay and Tyrson, you actually heard that. You heard a conversation, but it seems that Formidor doesn't want to give things out for free. So, Tyrson, to you, what do you want to do?
Formidor, I heard you take care of this lovely town. I would like to open up a supply chain with my village to your village. Would you be interested?
A village to my village. And where is your village?
My village is based on the seas in the east, I think. I think it's the east.
You think. He looks at you. It's like a surprise to hear that you said you think. So you're not really sure where you're staying?
I'm very sure where I'm staying. I'm staying further north, but near the ocean. And we can supply you with oil, food, and lumber, and that's for the time being. But because it's so remote, this place, you probably need oil and lumber for fires and foundries to supply, and oil.
Do you have a caravan master that can actually help you with this? I don't see that you have any caravans or any carts to bring forward for us. Perhaps even a simple trade. He looks at you and then eyeing you, even though you can't see his eyes, but you do realize that you do not have a cart, neither some stuff to actually bring to trade. And then he looks at you, Tyrson, and he said, perhaps if you can bring a few samples from your small little village, and we can have a further discussion. Then, if you can supply me with at least 10 of each or more of the item that you actually claim to have, then we can actually have this treat. Speaks to you. His voice is turned slightly, and then he stares and looks at you again, Tyrson. How do you respond?
That's fair enough, but I'll be back shortly. Give him a bow and leave.
Okay, you give him a bow, and then you left together with Elgen and Waruay. You heard the conversation within Tyrson and also Elgen. Okay, Waruay, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna ask him if he has anything to help with an upset stomach. Also, if he has like a cheap health potion I could get.
Okay, you actually ask him about something that can actually assist with an upset stomach, and then after that, then you ask him if there's any health potion. Then, friend, Waruay, roll for persuasion. Then after that, he said, "Well, yes, of course. I do have some of those potions that you mentioned, but when it comes to an upset stomach, let me see." And after he points to his young female apprentice, and then after that, then she just bowed, took out a small piece of paper, and after that, then tells you this powder could actually help you to relieve. This one can actually relieve any stomach upset. And after you look at it, it's like this powder, just put it into any water, stir it, and just drink it. Then you should be okay for the day. And then as for the potions, she looks at you, and after that, a simple health potion. This would just cost you about 40 silver pieces, which is actually just 4 gold pieces.
That is fantastic. I only have about 10 gold pieces, so that's exactly what I was looking for.
And after that, she looks at you. So, here you go. She passes to you. And after that, you pass her the money, which is actually just 3 gold piece and 5 silver. Which is actually 4 gold piece, 5 silver. 5 silver for the powder. And then after that, 4 gold pieces for the healing potions.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, let's say, do you happen to have a empty glass potion bottle I could get?
Oh yes, we do have quite a number. Actually, she looks at you. It's like, and then after she said we have a small one, a medium-sized one, and a larger one. Of course, it's like, and after that, the small one she tells you is only just 1 silver, and then after that, the second one is actually just about 5 silver, and then the larger one is actually 1 gold piece.
I'll grab the medium one. And I'll hand over the 5 silver, and I say thank you.
All right. Then after that, she bows. She takes your money, and after that she wraps everything nicely, and after that she puts it. Then she gives it to you.
Once I got everything, I'll say thank you, and I'll run over to the well, fill the empty bottle up with water, and mix the powder in, and run over to Clarence and give it Cornelius, sorry, and
Clarence. Okay. All right. Cornelius.
Yeah, Cornelius, and give it to Cornelius on the way out, and say, "Hey, this will help you with your stomach pain."
Oh, wow, thank you. I didn't expect that from you, Waruay.
That's okay. I saw that you were sick, and us small folk need to stick together.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's like you see that you see that Cornelius looking at Waru is like a bit embarrassed or a bit not to say apologetic, more like it's like, oh, thank you. It's like, oh, gee, I didn't know you do that for me. It's like embarrassed, like shy and everything. So it's like, wow, thank you. Yes, I do agree that we small folks does have to look up for each other. Just know that you will have you will have my back, and I'll have your back.
Excellent. Let's continue on to wherever it was that they decided to go.
Well, wherever we go, I guess we follow.
Is everybody ready?
There's one more thing that I need to do.
Which is?
DM, is Mofar at the front gate?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go up to him and I will ask him, Mofar, what was that job that you had in mind for us?
Ah, Elgen, he looks at you. You know, since that the Tabaxi gets like, even though he still crosses his arm and looks at the rest of you, you can see his means, and after you can see his smile. Well, there is one tiny little bit that looks at you. His voice like slightly happier to hear when you ask him. Elgen. There's this young little lady at the stables just to my right, and I believe that she has been looking for some brave adventurers, perhaps, just like yourself and your companions. And she seems to be in quite of a dilemma that she needs some safe passage to head further towards the east of the deserts itself. But she's just worried about these orcs and goblins that seems to be dwelling in the deserts alone. But since that, well, there was a bunch of adventurers that I actually asked to help. Dwarf, halfling, a tiefling, and I believe an elf. I think his name is Christopher. But it's to the north. So since then, if you're not busy, perhaps you can actually ask her yourself. I'm just here to actually seeking out people like yourself too to actually help her. She's just around the corner. She's this beautiful young lass that have this nice little horse and this nice little cart that she's actually having. Perhaps you should head over over there. And he points to this section and then tells you all. But it seems that your friend seems to be going on a rush to head towards the south, and I don't think that one of you is gonna split. Well, you know what they say, Elgen. Never split the party.
Yeah. How urgent is her business?
Well, I'm just getting paid, just a little bit, just to actually ask if they have any available adventurers that come through this door and see if they're good. But since you're quite free, why don't you go over there and ask yourself?
I'll do that.
Alright, after having that conversation, Elgin, you head towards the small stables where you can see the small dwarf. It's like talking to this young lady over here that seems to be talking about whether they can actually help. You notice that her hair is like slightly gray and white, and she's actually is actually quite beautiful. It's like as mentioned by Mofar. And then while as she was busy talking to the dwarf, that small dwarf with his goggles, rotating his eyes from the sand itself, covering his face with the hood, and he looks at you. Young Elgen, lass. Will you be so kind to talk to this young lass over here, laddie? It seems to me that she seems to be quite in a dilemma. But I can't help her, of course. The other dwarven expedition groups has been heading towards itself for the mines near the mountains to help the other humans down there. Young lady, perhaps you can actually talk to this, Elgen over here. And then after that, the dwarf then moves away, and then you see this lady then looks at you and said, "And what is your name?" she asks.
Folks around here call me Elgen. I was born here, so I know my way around. You're not a familiar face to me.
Oh, I came from a port town known as Matahari, and it's actually quite a distance from here. But I just finished doing my wares and selling stuff, and I deal together with the alchemists in this small town, Frodo. Frodo has been helping me quite a lot, a long time ago, and now it's like we're dealing with each other, we're trading with each other.
Up a little bit as she talks about Formidor.
Yes,
like in a hint of disgust.
And then she tells you, it's like, pardon my manners, she tells you. My name's Deadra, and I'm a resident of Matahari. I opened a shop there, and it seems that I've heard stories that there's this random ankex that's running amok and attacking any caravans or any horses that walk through the sand, and this is the season for it. But I cannot spend my time here in Onahole. I've been here for at least a number of days, and I need to actually go back. Otherwise, my business is gonna fall. She tells you, but I just need some people just to escort me back to Matahari itself. It's further to the east of here. It's roughly about more than a week's travel apparently. But Formidor himself used to escort me, and he and his friends, and they used to lead me to all these places. But now they're all scattered throughout many of the places around the north of here. She tells you she stutters a lot. Elgen noticed, but she, even due to her beauty and her nice like skin and all, and even underneath all this heat, she can still maintain her beauty. But then she said if you're kind enough to actually help me, perhaps you could escort me and my horse and perhaps my wares that I got from Formidor, because I deal with his potions and alchemy. While I also sell some gems and even perhaps potions or even scrolls that is actually created by another friend of mine, helping me with all this business. But if you're in a rush, it's all right. She tells you it's all right. She raises her hands, telling you that it's okay if you're busy, because not many adventurers can help me. And I asked of Christopher recently. This is another adventurer, but he couldn't help me with my problems. How do you respond, Elgen and Tyrson? You heard the whole conversation.
Would I
Elgen,
know
you first.
how much longer it would add on to our journey south?
All right. Okay. Roll for survival with disadvantage.
I know shit.
All right. Elgen, you're not sure because you're not too sure how far is the slavers' camp itself, and you do know you heard about Matahari before, but you've never traveled there before. It is quite far. You heard Matahari is really nice. It's a really nice place. It's even bigger than Onahole in terms of its town. It's more luxurious, and it's ruled by a merchant actually. But the merchant is actually a tabaxi. that actually looks into all these people, but the distance from Onahole to Matahari is really far, but you just do not know how long it will take.
Alright, give me a moment, I'll go speak with the rest of the party, and I'll see what they think.
Alright, okay, Tyrson, what do you want to do?
I don't mind detouring to help this young lady.
Roll for insight, Tyrson.
I was gonna close your...
Okay, Tyrson, you heard the conversation between Elgen and Deadra, but you were telling yourself you don't mind actually detouring, helping her, but you're thinking if you spend long time to head towards Matahari, will you be able to catch up to your mother if she's actually rumored to be at the slavers camp? But if you go to Matahari and the slavers camp, she might be gone. So now you're in a 50-50 dilemma at this moment if you were to help Deadra, or do you ignore Deadra's pleas and just head straight to the south?
I think, like Formador said, it's nothing urgent, and he knows I'm here, so I'll help this lass, and hopefully my mother comes back to this town, and Formador can tell her I'm off safe and well, I guess. But I don't mind. I'll see
Alright.
what... Yeah.
Okay. Then you actually followed Elgen to the rest of the party members to actually have this discussion. To hear and see what they say. Okay, alright, Tyrson or Elgen, you can start.
How would you guys feel about adding a couple of weeks on our travels? We've got a potential another job sending us to the east. It's just an escort job.
Escort? Are we escorting someone or a group? What are we?
No, I'm hiring you out as a hoe, and I'm your pimp.
I'm not quite sure Waruay would have any quite an understanding of what that is.
And I'll walk up, and Elgin puts his hand on your shoulder and goes, "Don't worry, mate. It was just a joke. We will be pretty much there for protection as we escort a merchant and her wares to another town to the east before we head to the south."
Alright.
I wanted to bring to the party because it's not my decision.
I don't mind helping or even adding extra time, but is everybody okay with this? It has to be
What?
unanimous.
What exactly is she offering?
Well, I was wanting to get your guys' thoughts on before I asked about payment. I didn't want to seem rude.
Okay, so, I mean, if it's not worth our time, why would we bother helping her?
Well, that's the thing. If we know if you guys want to or not, it's all depending on you guys.
I mean, until we know what she's actually going to offer us and what we're up against, I have no interest in helping her.
I mean, it couldn't be that bad to help a person after all. I'm sure we should be able to find something that's beneficial for us along the way.
But, I mean, don't we have time sense? Like, the slavers thing seems quite time sensitive.
That is a good point. We should probably stop the slavers as soon as we can. And also, to save Tyson's mother, because she was lost.
My mother is not lost. She's looking for me, but if she comes back to this town, I'm pretty sure she will know of my presence in this town, so she'll be probably stop looking for me and head back home.
Sorry, remind me again. So where exactly is the slave trade and where exactly she wants to go? Is it like the other opposite direction?
Yes, so she wants to go northeast, and the slaver camp is south.
Oh, so
Okay, that's definitely the other opposite direction.
Yeah. So, yep.
We'll be consuming twice the rations on our way back. On the off chance we might stumble upon something as, form of a compensation. But yet again, the slavers' camp and your mother is dead, Tyrson. I'm not the party leader, so it has to be majority vote. What are you all voting at? Do we proceed south, finish the slavers off, and come back here? Or add a couple of weeks to our journey and head northeast, and then swing ourselves south?
How about we head south? I'll let this young lady know that if she hasn't found any help, when we get back, we can offer our assistance then.
That seems reasonable.
Agreed. Reasonable.
I agree.
Okay, since you talked to her, so go tell her off. We'll wait for you here.
Lady, the thing is, me and the rest of this party are heading to the south. I don't mean to, get your hopes up or anything, but if you're still here by the time we get back, I believe everyone's more than happy to give you a helping hand. Or in some of their cases, if the price is right.
She looks at you. Well, if you do return after your journey back, if I'm still here, hopefully, then perhaps I'm willing to actually perhaps give you 55 gold pieces for you and your companion's trouble, and perhaps even a discount at my shop.
I sort of like not interested in gold. I'm looking for a merchant who can set up in my village. That's for my payment, but for everyone.
Deadra looks at you and she's like, "What kind of merchant are you looking for?"
My village supplies in food like fish, oil, and wood at the moment, and I just have trouble getting supplies to places and selling deals of places to trade with. I just don't have a caravan to send to and from my village as yet, and I was hoping you know someone or point me in the right direction to help my dilemma.
She looks and thinks for a while, and then rolling for intelligence, and she thinks, I think I might know someone. She's a captain of a ship. She's also a merchant. I believe, I'm not too sure whether she's still there. I've been in Onahole for more than a week, and I believe she travels from village to village, trading from port to port. I believe she heads from Matahari to Port Panas, and after that she heads over to one of this Kobold village and also the Rabbit Folk village further to the northeast, if not mistaken. And then she also travels to the human settlement further down south, and she have she have a really good deal with the humans down to the south, and she's a really good pirate princess queen. I'm not too sure. She inherited it from her father or something. Zhang Shang. I'm not too sure. But perhaps if you're still here, I'll probably wait. I'm a good friend of the tavern keeper here. Maybe he can perhaps give me some cheap accommodations. Well, you just need to do what you need to do, and perhaps I might introduce you to her.
Please, if it's not much trouble to make sure you're here when we come back, I'll give you some gold pieces for lodging. I know for the service and the kindness of helping me out, at least.
Mm-hmm.
About probably 3 gold pieces.
Yeah, definitely. It shouldn't be a problem, she tells you. Then after that, she's just like, it's like, rummage through some stuff. And after that, I think this is it. Then she looks at you. Here you go.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, alright, Elgen, Tyrson, what do you want to do?
I bow and I'll make sure we'll come back and hopefully you'll be still here at the tavern.
Just don't take too long, though. And don't get
We
yourself killed, too. I hear the Yankat Queen is still roaming the desert looking for a quick meal.
I will pretty much nod in respect and walk back to the party.
Alright, you nod to her, and after you head straight towards the party members. Okay, alright. Then, okay, Tyrson, okay, Elgen, you can RP with the rest of the party members and tell them what you actually discussed.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah, we're ready. I've just told her that she's back when we get back, we can give her a hand then.
Let's hope she's not foolish enough to venture out in the desert unprotected. Anyway, if anybody got anything last minute to do, let's head on our way.
And you see him chuckling, his backpack on his back and his sword as he point to the horizon.
And I will just call out Finn as a familiar.
Alright. Yeah, you know how to drag out your companion to you, right? On the character sheet. It's tied only to you. Only you can see it. Okay, alright, done. Okay, now to the world map.
Okay, who wishes to be assisted when it comes to the survival roll?
I don't think I should roll survival.
I can do survival.
Okay, let me
Alright.
Let me assist you then. So will roll before you do.
Okay, the port town of Matahari will not be revealed to you until you escort Deadra, so it's hidden. It's hidden on the map, so you won't be able to see it. You only know certain towns and villages that you heard of. Okay, Flavor's camp, not that far actually, but Just rolling for survival. 2. Okay, that's good actually. 2 survival. 20 survival, that means you move 2 squares instead of 1. And after that, reduce your rations.
By 1.
Yep, by 1. As long as you follow the river trail, I'm not going to ask you to reduce your water skins. Your water skins is only available for 7. Water skins can only fill up to 7. So a day you remove 1 water skin, not count.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you move to the desert, you have to reduce your water skin by 1. Okay.
Okay, that's what the.
And once you're out of water, that's where things get difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Create water.
Okay, since we again survival. Who wishes to be assisted?
I was meant to do the 20, but do the survival, but it seems like your assistance counted.
Yeah. Okay, I shall roll this time. Pray it's above 10 so that you can take it from there. Okay, now you can roll with advantage on your survival.
With advantage.
Nice.
I'm just not gonna roll shit from anymore.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's 1 square. It's not like, as long as it's not a nat 1, we're okay. We're still fine. Just reduce your rations by 1. Okay. This is sweet.
I would like to feed on dreams on the way down to this
No.
trip.
Okay, I shall roll for survival.
DM, on the
Mhm.
way, can I also look for good berries and things to use in a herbalism kit to be able to make potions?
Okay, that's during your long rest. So each day is actually a long rest. Okay, you can actually roll for survive. You can roll for nature for that. Because you're in a desert land, so it's actually quite difficult. Just roll. Okay, you look around, you don't see any good berries in the desert plains itself. Even if there is food, that's essentially very scarce.
Pretty much, like along when we're traveling and everything, I'm just going to look for materials to be able to craft good berry and
Alright.
to be able to make potions with herbalism kit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me do.
So you need to search for good berries in order to cast good berries.
To enchant them, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, let me.
It's easier to find them in the forest, okay, but harder to find them in the desert or even in the snows. Okay, survival 13. Okay, roll for advantage. Whoever want to roll.
Okay. One more time, Elgen. Oh, okay, good. Oh. Okay. Survival 16. That means we roll 1 square. And again, reducing my rations by 1. Okay.
Yep, everybody reduce their rations by 1. Okay, it's like Tyrson, just like feeding off your nightmares and so on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you can roll again with advantage.
Oop.
Okay, survival 15.
Okay, only +2,
And
+3. I've got a +5 in survival. I thought I was low, but
It's
Well,
okay.
you can do that. That's
I got a +1.
I'm just doing the natures for the.
I actually have a +6.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I shall roll for survival again. Okay, take it away who wishes to take it.
Nature. Oh.
15.
Okay. Alright. At the moment you're actually about to reach the camp, in the distance you can see a number of orcs and then a number of other slavers actually moving things around, and you're not too sure what they're doing. But before you even enter the camp, before you could actually even enter, you see that a number of kobolds in the distance are inside cages, and you're actually unsure why the orcs are actually enslaving this poor little kobold. And then the rest of you actually turn to actually look at Waruay, wondering to yourself, should you bring Waruay together with you before you even enter? Or do you enter the camp together with Waruay and hope for the best? Okay, going to move from right to left. Okay, Waruay, roleplay. Waruay to Cornelius.
So I'm furious right now. Little puffs of poisonous gas are just exhaling out of my nostrils upon seeing the encaged kobolds. And I'm like gripping my sword and just like shaking without saying any words.
Okay, the rest of the party members actually noticed that you were slightly angry and actually gripping the hilt of your sword. Okay, Elgen, what do you want to do?
Wait,
I'll
me?
turn
What happened to me?
No, from Waruay, Elgen to Cornelius.
Oh, okay.
Right to left.
Oh, okay.
I'll go. I'll say to Waruay, we ain't gonna let you get taken from us. We'll try and help you and whoever else we can help along the way.
I'm still like, I'm sort of like lost in a trance. It looks like more anger than fear. Like I've never, Waruay's never seen anything like this before. Definitely nothing on this scale.
I picked that
It's
up.
just, he's like, dragon blood is just boiling.
Am I able to do something, DM?
Yeah, you can. Unless, of course, Elgen's done, then going to move to Varius and see what he want to say.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty much just giving, like, trying to be there and support Waruay in this unsightly view. Because I can sense his dismay.
Okay, next person.
Okay, I'm just looking on horrified. I'm quite disappointed with this, with my fellow humans treating other sentient creatures so badly.
I approach Waruay, and like as we walk, and I notice him, a bit like angry, like the whole angry type of breathing coming out, and I just like gently put my hand on his head and say to him,
Steel yourself, friend. Don't let anger control you. That's my department. For now, if you wish, climb on my back. You'll get a better view and you can hide behind me. If you are afraid.
Upon hearing the words, I understand what he's saying, that with my monk training, that rage can be blinding. So I take a deep breath, still myself, and I'll tuck him up on his upper, I'll climb up on his back, and sort of try to calm myself, my breathing. I know what we're here for, but I must prepare myself. If I go in angry, then I will only be a detriment to everyone. And I'll say, thank you. I lost myself there for a moment.
Do not worry about anything. We'll do whatever we could to try and help as much kobolds as we could. This is why we came here to begin with. Also,
and that's when like I look into everybody while we're like staring at the slavers' camp.
this is why the pink skin hate us so much. They fear us. Look at what they're doing to poor kobolds. Who's to say that elves or even the bunny folks are next? or even us orcs. We have to prevent such travesties from happening.
Next person, please.
I agree with the big guy. He's not the smartest, but then he just speaks some sense. Waruay, I'll use my whatever powers within me to help you free your friend. I just do not wish to see another person to be turned into a meal. It's like you see Cornelius is like looking, it's like not want to think of the part that he ate Waruay's companion as meal. So yeah, and what's it called? And roleplay.
I turn around and reach into my bag of goodies. I pass Waruay and the little Cornelius two yummy bugs. You might need these. And I'll stroll into the camp, holding a back bit of drooling and craving for dreams, thinking to myself, there's gonna be so much good dreams here. And go up to the nearest slaver and see if I can get information.
Okay. The rest of you actually decide to actually head further forward. Some actually stood back. Like, what Rhin'zey, he didn't say much. Just keep quiet. He just like speaks and said, I will do what you do, Durotan. If you swing an axe, I will swing mine. Then, in the distance, you can see a number of orcs guarding cages. It's like filled with kobolds inside. It seems all to be screaming and shouting in draconic languages, as like seem to be banging on the cages itself. As you actually walk further forward to return, and the rest of you can hear the orcs then turn to actually face the rest of the party and stood. And before you could even enter, before you could even walk further forward, one small little goblin walked towards the rest of you. His hands like hovering up, holding some sort of a short scimitar behind his back. His long green hair tied back like ponytail, green in color apparently. And then he smiled and after he said, "Ah, say, you here to trade? Or, wait a minute. Is that a kobold on your back?" He looks and points at you, Durotan.
I just simply cross both my hands and say,
He's my companion, so what of it?
Oh, I am attempting to hide, if that counts.
And then the goblin looks at you. Then I believe that this kobold seems to be quite unique compared to the others. This skin is different. I can say that it might not even be a slave. Must be one of the scholars, perhaps from the northern mountains. But then he turns to the rest of the other party. The rabbit folk. Funny. What are you doing so far to the south, rabbit folk? Points to you and looks at you, Cornelius.
What any other adventurer do? Adventurers, I suppose.
Rabbit folks are not mostly adventurous. But it does not matter. Business is business. Are you here on business, or are you here for pleasure, or for some other purpose?
We're here for leisure.
Okay, meanwhile, Tyrson, roll for perception.
Yep. Yep. Wow. Number 5.
Okay.
Number 5.
Right. Perhaps due to the sun itself, or perhaps due to the small little goblin that's looking at you, you're unable to actually see something in the distance. But then,
I approach the goblin in Goblinoid. I say, "We're here for leisure, and I would like to speak. Who's in charge of this fine establishment?"
uh, well, if you're here for some kobolds, perhaps, but you don't look
No.
like the type of human that will actually find them delicacy. And after that, then you see the small little goblin then look and turns to Varius. And he said, in you over there, you look like somebody that I perhaps have met. Uh, you, are you here to buy some kobolds? Because I believe I have seen somebody that looks exactly like you, perhaps from the south, that actually just recently bought some and brought them back.
How recently?
Quite recently. Just days before you arrive.
Right. Yes, I'm here to look over your stock.
I have thought that perhaps you have returned for more. Well, then again, you look exactly like him, so it can't really matter. Coin's a coin. Come, look at the stuff that we actually brought back. Follow me, the rest of you.
Stay on your toes, everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on Durotan
Okay.
the whole time.
Alright, Waruay. You notice that number of kobolds actually like they stood quiet. The moment you notice that they were speaking draconic, like they're just banging on the cages that's trying to escape. You as a kobold yourself, you heard the languages. It's like they just like screaming, "Let us out!" And then after that, when they actually saw you coming, one of the kobolds on the cage, inside the cage, actually I spoke to you in draconic. At first he was screaming at first, then but after that it became calm when he saw you on Durotan's shoulder. You heard them saying that the silver skin is here. The silver skin is here. You have no idea what they're trying to tell you. You have no idea what it even meant. What silver skin? You think to yourself. But you stood there on the shoulder, looking at them, making sure that you don't lash out at the orcs that's actually guarding them. But then again, roll for perception, everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I would want to call out to him, but I know that that's not the plan at the moment.
Okay. Alright, Cornelius. When you walk towards the center of this encampment, you actually counted at least perhaps 10 or 11 orcs around the camp itself. But what caught your eyes is not the sentries or the guards on top of the towers itself. That's actually looking at most of the slaves inside the cage, Cornelius. What actually caught your eye is this silver-haired lady, quite elegantly dressed, beautiful even for her age. You're not too sure whether she's like human or elf. But then she is actually talking to one particular female orc in the distance. And you notice that this orc, apparently like dark hood, eyes red, carrying some sort of mace, and seems to be holding a sharp green dagger, to show what it's made of. And then another person standing next to a silver-haired woman. You're not too sure what actually you heard, but they're actually having some sort of conversation. But, Tyrson, you notice that your mother is actually having some sort of conversation with one of the female orcs. But, going from now, Tyrson, what do you want to do?
I want to move silently and listen to what they are saying.
Okay. Alright, you move suddenly, roll for stealth, and after the roll for perception. Okay, good. Perception. Okay. You move slightly closer, making sure as if that you're looking at the kobolds specimens themselves. Then this little goblin, then after that, then looks around, and after that, look at Varius, and then said, "You, what do you fancy here? Are you here to actually fancy the specimen yourself for the pot?" When you heard that, Varius, you noticed that they actually just recently cooked one of the kobolds. And then after that, the small little goblin then looks at you, Varius, and said, "Are you here looking for some slave for yourself to work perhaps your mines or your farm? Bringing them back again."
My family are looking to purchase all of your stock.
Oh. Huh. The last time your people was here, judging by your garment, right? They actually bought only a few, but perhaps only for delicacies, of course. Various roll for insight. Okay, this little goblin seems to know something about perhaps you, or is perhaps whether the way your garment is actually being worn. But he also mentioned that there are people just like you. They actually came here to actually buy the kobold to actually bring back. And you're thinking to yourself, who is it? Is it from your house? Is it people? We can't be any just normal humans, because there are a number of humans here, even to the north. But it seems that this goblin also specifically said that somebody that looks just like you, or explicitly look like you. The way you walk, perhaps, the way you look. Okay, Varius, what do you want to do?
Which direction did they leave with the goblins? Or with the stock? The livestock?
Okay, I'm just gonna move your character closer to the goblin. Too far away. Alright. Because it doesn't make sense that the goblin is screaming at Varus at the other end. Right.
Where is the goblin?
That's what I thought. That's literally what I thought.
Okay. Alright. The goblin then looks at you, Varus, and said, "I came here from the south of the mountains. These humans, they come here at least once a month, at least. Or twice in the months to actually bye-bye, there's the kobolds. They never mention how, they never mention why, they never mention what. They just come here, bought them, brought them back. And looking at you, the goblin looks at you from top to bottom. One of them actually looks like you. Well, perhaps look somewhat close to how you look, of course. But I don't understand why you're actually with this group of people that you are hired them to work for you. The goblin asks you, Varus.
Well, we're expanding our farms and we need to purchase more livestock in order to properly utilize the farmland that we've come into possession. So, I wish to purchase all of the livestock. Can you prepare them to leave?
Well,
We'll of course pay. Of course, we'll of course pay a bonus should you be able to get them ready faster.
Oh. Of course, you know the price. That's right, my lord.
Yes.
5 gold piece. 5 gold piece for a small kobold, of course. We have at least 5 of them here. Well, let me see. Apparently one just died, sadly, from exhaustion, so we have only 5. So...
Just 5? I was hoping to purchase a lot more. Do you have any other stock available?
There are our hunters have further head towards the northwest, and perhaps I hope they have captured more kobolds for you, of course. And they should be returning here perhaps by tomorrow. If not, perhaps this afternoon.
Good to know. Could you, I will slap my pocket and there'll be a jingle. I wish to leave as soon as possible. Could you prepare the kobolds for me immediately?
Yes. Should we send them towards the south as you always wanted them to be? Or any specific places?
No. My kobold friend here will first look over them just to make sure that they are of sufficient quality.
I see that you have a very exquisite kobold with you, together with the orc over there. That type of kobold, they are more expensive and harder to catch. Of course, I'm surprised you're able to even afford. If I'm not mistaken, that type of kobold, their skin and their meat, they would easily fetch about 100 gold pieces per kobold.
Yes, well, this kobold is not used for eating. It is, it has special abilities, let's say, and for my family, this kobold is very important.
Sorry. He bows the goblin boss to say, I do apologize for being rude, my lord, but we will prepare the 5 kobolds for you. There will be only 35 gold pieces, of course. You'll be paying it over to our master over there. Apparently, she's talking to the lady regarding some business proposition. Perhaps you can walk around and see the other kobolds, just like that's inside the cage. We'll prepare them, perhaps. Or when do you want them?
I would like them as soon as possible. Of course, before we exchange payment, I would have want my manservant here to examine the kobolds to make sure they're of sufficient quality.
The goblin bowed. Yes. Kind. Then after he turns to look at Waruay. Kind kobold lord, sir. Seems that your master asked you to look at the other kobolds. You can survey them, of course. And after that, then the goblin looks at you again, Varius. Lord, do you want them tied and shackled like you wanted them always to be?
Currently, we just wish to look at the kobolds, so there's no need for them to be tied or shackled. I of course will want my manservant to check on them first. I mean, he has special abilities to examine kobolds, and he knows exactly the requirements that my father has demanded. So I'll walk over to Waruay and say, get ready.
My eyes just sort of like come together like as a predator's would, and clearly I am tense and ready to pounce at a moment's notice.
Don't attack until we have them safely in our custody.
And I nod.
Okay. And
Correct.
I'll nod to Durotan and give him a knowing look.
Alright. Okay, Elgen, what do you want to do?
Am I too late to the party?
Well,
Not really. Alright, Elgen, what do you want to do?
I am just going to stand at the back with Finn and act defensively. I kind of like be on the defense until something happens.
Alright. Okay, alright. Meanwhile, Cornelius, what do you want to do before I head over to Tyrson?
As they are trying to prepare for everything, I'll just like wait for the signal. So I'll prepare my sword in case there is going to be a outbreak of attack and everything. So I'll just pretend to look around as well, but still be cautious of their movement in case Durotan and the others, especially Waruay and Varius, decide to attack and everything. I will be on standby. I'll still follow behind their back. But yeah.
Okay, Durotan, You look at the number of orcs around here. Roll for insight with advantage.
Okay, rolling insight with advantage. Let me just do this. And insight. 1 moment. Even though it says, oh, okay, never mind. Let me just press again. Okay.
All right. DC 10.
Mhm.
Okay. You look at these orcs. You know them as you know. You look at their tattoos. You look at their blades, and you notice they're wearing like really good, nicely made leather armor, and some of them even carrying shields. You know these people as blood claws, the clan blood claws themselves, and they stay in the mountains further to the south. These are not your typical orcs. You know that. And other than your barbaric, other than the orcs of the north, which you actually came from Frost, you are the Frostwolf clan, but these are blood claws. You see the ones like on the left or on the right, and even the ones guarding the kobold. These orcs are trained. You know that they are not your typical run of the mill orc. So if there's gonna be a battle, you think to yourself, it's gonna be a hard battle. But the one that does not worry you the most, the one that actually does not worry you is not them, but perhaps the one that's actually talking to the silver-haired lady at the two carts itself. You notice one particular human barbarian carrying two swords as if it's like nothing standing over here. But the one that's worried you the most is the orc wizard standing there talking to the head lady. But you notice the Tyrson is just standing at the cart looking at the belongings, but you're not sure what Tyrson is doing. So I'll ask Durotan, what do you want to do?
I simply since knowing that they are not native to this this part of the desert, knowing where they usually would hang or hang out, I just simply talk to the guy who is standing here, this guy, while I'm while Waruay is on my back, and I'm
So, what brings you brothers down here? I used to think you can only hunt down in the mountains where the rest of us are.
Then the orc looks at you and said, we follow our leader. She lead us to glory. She lead us to riches. I will gladly lay my life for her. She brought us from our native camp, and we are here to work together with the humans of the south. As long as we are fed and we have a roof on top of our heads, then we shall be here. But what is a frost wolf doing here? Away from your cold weather mountains. The desert lands and the sun itself would have scorched your skin. He looks at you, Durotan.
Good question. Mainly looking for adventure, and maybe the clan is wanting to move to a new place and working with other clans. I mean, I always wondered what happened to you lot. You just up and gone. We feel the worst. Why not, put your hands together with the Frost Wolf? Together we can do so much, but what's up with that pink-skinned barbarian over there? The one with the two swords? What is she doing here?
She follow our leader. Our leader great. She wields power within her hands. She blasts people from afar. Her powers is indeed magnificent. You should see it for yourself. She took out an Ankek mother with a single boom. A single blast of fire, enough to topple and destroy the mother. You should have seen it. The moment she cast it, the other Ankek flew in pieces. You do not want to face. I follow those with power. But if you are strong, you will lead. If you are weak, you perish. If you want the blood claws to follow the frost wolf, then it is not for me to decide. Then you should talk to her instead. But at the moment, she is busy handling a business with the Lady of the Vow.
Understandable. I'll just wait here until she's done.
And that's when he just
Right.
continued crossing his arms and waiting whenever she's free so he can approach her.
Alright, Tyrson, your turn before I move to Rhin'zey.
So can I?
Tyrson, you heard some conversation while you're actually behind the tent. You actually hear your mother actually talking to this other orcish woman. It's like with the hood. You actually said that you actually heard only a few. You heard only this. So the deal is the deal. Business is business. You send your people over to my place, and then money will be given. We'll be trading. So you don't have to do the things that you need to do. That's what you heard.
I scream out, "Is that mother?"
And then your mother then turns and looks at you. I heard the voice of my bastard son. Is that you, Tyrson?
Yes, I'm always saving the day.
Okay, alright. Everybody after heard Tyrson say mother, roll for wisdom saving throw. Those rolling below 10, you're stunned.
Do I need to do that? Oh,
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. Okay. Okay, Waruay is stunned. Stunned for 1 round. Okay, Varius is not. Elgen is not. Cornelius is not. Okay, Rhin'zey, yes, you have to roll. Durotan, you have to roll. Wisdom saving throw. Okay, Rhin'zey is stunned. Okay, Durotan, you. Okay, either Durotan is completely stunned, or he says like, everybody's like, mother? Okay, and then your mom looks at you, and actually quickly ran over to you, Tyrson, and after give you a huge bear hug that almost broke your rib cage. Your mom is strong.
oh, mother, please. I miss you too.
She hugged you, and you're almost out of breath. And she said, "Where have you been, my son? I've been looking all over for you. I heard stories that you went to the mountains, you went to the forest, then you went to the deserts, then what? I thought you died. I mean, you should have been dead, but you're dead already anyways." She looks at you.
I just chuckle. It's like, yeah, I'm a hard person to kill. I heard from Elderman you went to the desert, and I just wanted to make sure you're aware I was okay. My sort of next stop is to find my sister, to let her know I'm okay. I just want to make sure you are safe and all is well.
Your sister is worried about you, Tyrson. She went to the northern mountains, just to look for you. She went to the Hags. The Hag said that you went someplace looking for some rare stones. Of course, you succeeded, and thanks to that. But and now, well, and before she could even continue, you notice the female orc walks over to your mother and start asking, "Lady, who is this young boy?" And then your mom then turned to said, "This handsome boy is my son." And said,
I bow and it's like, "Tyrson," and just chuckle. So
then she looks at you, and then after that she introduces herself. My name is Mandarake, short for Mandrake.
that's a lovely name.
It seems that mother and son is here. Then she said, and then after that she turns to your mom, Tyrson, and said, "Since your son is here, perhaps we can do things slightly easier. Young Tyrson, it seems that your mother wanted to do some business with the village of Wow.
Yes.
That we supply the captured kobolds as slaves to your place to rebuild the place to make it bigger and stronger. And your mother will provide the belongings from your place over to us, and then we can rebuild the Bloodclaw village further to the south. And in return, you will have more kobold slaves in order for you to consume or to work them to build your village. Everybody else roll for perception except for Tyrson.
Advantage or disadvantage?
Normal roll.
Oh, okay. Normal perception, okay.
DC 15. Only Elgen heard this. Rhin'zey, roll for it. Also perception.
He's getting some food.
Okay. Okay, Elgen. Even at distance with your keen elven ears, you heard the orc spellcaster saying that the mother just did some business together with them to actually send these kobolds, or many of the captured kobolds, to Vow or Tyrson's village to work as slave, and the last word you heard was to be consumed.
I will go up to Tyrson and go, what is the meaning of this?
Tyrson, how do you respond? You're shocked, you're stunned. You're not sure what to say. Your mother just made a deal with the slavers.
Well, when I say consume, we don't eat kobold. But we use the consume words occasionally to repopulate our village. Teach them the proper way to live like people, not barbarians, like animals.
That is still not acceptable.
Well,
It's like if you took a rabbit and put it in the water, you're changing its whole environment. Not natural.
well, you have a choice, my friend. They go to the south, and the cycle begins of the south men or humans eating them or doing all sorts of horrible things to them, or we struck this deal and we can make sure they're safe, fed, and well cared for.
I agree, it's a lot better than the alternative, but still, your kobolds rely on their clan.
I agree. And we give them enough knowledge to start their own clan eventually. We can discuss this later, not here in front of company.
In disgust, Elgen just walks back away, and then Finn will just sit there and growl at first before following.
Okay, Rhin'zey, roll for perception.
Yep.
Everybody else actually roll. Everybody else that rolled perception higher than 10 can actually hear the argument between Elgen and Tyrson.
Oh,
Yeah, I heard it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright, Rhin'zey, you actually heard that Tyrson's mother is now doing business together with the slavers and agreed to actually send any future captured kobolds to the village of Vow, where Tyrson is staying, to work as either a slave or to be consumed either as a food source. You heard that?
I heard that, yeah.
And you heard the argument between Elgen and Tyrson and Elgen disagreed with the idea in getting these kobolds to work as slaves, or even worse, because for now you guys do not know that Tyrson's a dampier. That's the thing. If you guys know that he's a dampier, does he suck blood? Does he eat their meat? Or that's about it. But Rhin'zey, how do you role play this after Elgen?
Well, Rhin'zey, he has very strong beliefs about liberties and rights and kobolds and, well, all kinds, because that's what he stands for, and he fights to protect the weak. So he hears this news, he hears it all, and he's saddened. Saddened is emotion number one, and it's injustice. Like, these are slaves. They either, like, as she said, to be given to us for us to use or to be eaten. Otherwise, yeah, they're just gonna, same choices will go out to anyone else who approaches Tyrson's mum, right? Not Varius. So he looks down and he thinks, like, I don't have any money. There's not much I can do, and it just breaks his heart to hear all of this. So he goes up and it says, with all due respect, that is your business. That's where you get your income. We all got to do something to earn a living, or do what we feel that our meaning of lives are, and dedicate our lives to that. It is against my own beliefs that these kobolds are treated the way they are, and their statuses are the way that it is. If there is any option for me to free at least one and give him a better life, I hope that we can have a conversation about that.
Okay, Rhin'zey, roll for persuasion.
Okay. Persuasion.
The female orc magi looking at you, and then she said, "Your words is wise. Where are you from?"
I am from the village of Shizizwo, the land of Tabaxis, and I am one of the few Leonins who has a status in that village. And I go out onto these journeys, these quests, to seek the meaning that I pursue in my own life. Glory is just another, side effect of it, I guess. But it is with love and passion that I go out to fight. And it is with the same reason that I go out to make friends and allies, and so that we can make this world a better place. If that answers your question.
Speak wise, like a true leader. I heard stories about your leader, your clan leader, if not mistaken, if I remember correctly. And then after that, okay, Cornelius, what do you do? What you say?
I heard what Rhin'zey said, so I agree with him. So I want to support his statement. And I obviously I walk up to next to him and say that yes, I do.
Small little lady folk. The orc lady looks at you. You are far from the north.
Yes, I know. Everyone says that. Is it such rare to see a rabbit folk out of their own rabbit hole?
Yes.
Well, don't matter. I'm here to support my friend here. It's like I put my hand like tap on Rhin'zey's. I don't know where, what leg, I don't know.
Rhin'zey is quite tall, so
yeah, it's like, I'm just like tapping his butt area. I don't know where would be the most appropriate way. So I was like, I'm just tapping his back and say that yes, I do agree with my friend here. Kobolds are still living beings. They are not supposed to be slaves, let alone to be food for other people's entertainment.
we believe that each being, any being at all, that breathes and has thoughts and has a heart and has a reason to live, be given the existential right, the freedom to make choices of their own and to walk their own paths instead of having them chosen for them. I guess in my own personal belief systems and values, I'd say maybe it'll be a little bit more different for those who have committed heinous crimes, but for those who have no reason to be enslaved or have their freedoms taken away or their fate decided by those that are not themselves, I believe that is a strong injustice, and this is an understatement.
The Orc lady then speaks out and said, "Well, these are all just savage feral kobolds, not domesticated, living under their holes. Most of the time, either they'll be eaten by the worms or the ankeks. Isn't it no better that they'll be working as slaves for those that need them? The humans of the south mostly taken them for work the farms, to work the mine, to work the kitchen. And sometimes some humans find them as delicacies, just like the lords of the Southlands itself, coming here, buying a number of them. So, are you telling me that these kobolds can be safe?" Who want to respond? Cornelius, Tyrson, or Rhin'zey?
Okay,
I'll
I've spoken about
I'll
soon.
let Rhin'zey go first. Then I'll
Okay,
support
Rhin'zey, then Cornelius, then Tyrson. Okay, all right.
Okay, well, Rhin'zey says, well, I guess I do not know for sure, but it is not, I'd say, to give them a chance. And if there is a way that I can have my points persuade you, maybe perhaps borrow a kobold for a certain amount of time to show you that kobolds are beings that needs to be cherished just like every other being as equals, or in any other way that I can make you see things differently. Just because they're kobolds or just because any being is of any kind, it does not give any other being any mandate to decide whether they are good or not. Because the thing is, do I know if I'm good or not? Do you know if you're good or not? It's about the choices that you make that define who you are, and that is who I believe. That is what I believe in. A choice. Free will.
Okay, all right. Okay, next. Cornelius?
I agree with my big here. Sentient being just shouldn't be held behind a cage, let alone be treated as lower than a living being. They should be free and have their own free will to do so, be it as savages, but they still are alive. Alive for alive is just not right.
Okay. Tyrson?
Well, I agree on that, and I agree with pretty much everyone in this group. But anyway, is it alright to make a little amendment of the deal between me, you, and my mother? If it's alright by my mother to do so?
As you said that, meanwhile, your mother walks over to Madarake and then tells her, "Madarake, would you be so kind so I can actually speak to my son? So, alone, please." You see Madarake just nod her head, and after that walk behind, and after that you see your mother walks over to you, Tyrson, and she said, "What are you doing, Tyrson?"
I was just going to add another race to not just be racist to the kobolds. If they come across probably bandits or something like that and they decide to enslave them, give them a second chance of rehabilitation of work for us. We just don't need to always rely on kobolds. Other kobolds can't do heavily labor stuff all the time. Like, for instance, we might need a desert elf, or something like that. Just give the lady, give us an opportunity to purchase them to help us grow our village. What do you think?
I believe. And after that, your mother then looks behind you to Elgen, Durotan, Waruay, and Varius. I see that your Lionel friend and your rabbit friend here you have some good friends, Tyrson. But
I do.
you should tell your other kobold friend at the back of the other orc over there to release his hands from the hilt of his weapon. Fighting now is not an alternative, Tyrson. And of course, Cornelius and Rhin'zey, you heard what the mother said. And then she continued again and she said, if we are to fight the Bloodclaw clan here now, Tyrson, we will initiate a war. And they would not stop. And they would burn down Onahole, Tyrson. Once they burn Onahole down, they will head straight to Snaphead. And then head straight to Vow. If we are now to confront Mandarake here, and she perish, if her father knows, it will be the most difficult time ever for us. And at this moment in time, Tyrson, we need the strength. We need these kobolds to rebuild. We need to build our home, Tyrson. And even though your companions, they mean you no harm. I heard the conversation, but of course, I am here to negotiate a deal, my son. And she turns to Rhin'zey and then she nods her head. And it seems that your Lionel friend here is quite wise. He might be a future leader one day, and you might even need his help to rebuild. We need a kingdom right now, Tyrson. And without a kingdom, we will never able to protect ourselves if the humans of the south decide to invade or decide to attack. At this moment in time, these kobolds, they are untrained. There are no leaders to lead them. They are scattered throughout the lands to the northwest. And we don't have anybody good enough to communicate, even with these feral kobolds. And then she turns to look to Waruay, and then she asks you, Tyrson, that kobold over there, is he a good friend of yours?
Yes. I do trust him.
Do you believe that he could communicate with the people, the feral kobolds themselves? If you are able to buy off these kobolds, buy their heart, and then lead them perhaps. But without the language that they know, communicating with them will be quite difficult. And then she turns to look at Waruay. Young kobold, what is your name?
I'm sort of shocked a bit that she's referring to me. And I say, Waruay, sort of through my teeth a bit, but not trying to be too obvious about it.
After she turns, and then she tells, my name is Lex. You don't have to call me lady, just call me Lex. I'm Tyrson's mother. You don't have to worry. And she turns to you again, Waruay, and she speaks and said, do you know the language of the dragons? Do you know Draconic?
I will respond, and I'll say, yes, I was raised learning Draconic, and I will say it in Draconic back to her.
Okay, now after you spoke to her back in Draconic, in which she said, indeed you understand the language. You should speak to the captured kobolds, Waruay. Tell them that you mean them no harm, that they are no slaves. Well, I will try to talk to Mandarake together, my son, perhaps even Rhin'zey, and for, I think, your name, Rabbit Folk.
Cornelius Spear.
Cornelius Spear. You look different than any other rabbit folks. Non-rabbit-like. And then she turns to you, then Tyrson, and she said, "It is up to you, my son. Bloodshed now, agony later, or discussion is the best way to prevent a war."
Looking to Durotan, noticing he's got his hand firm and Waruay as well. I was like, oh yeah, I prefer talk. Like, look at those muscles. Like, just not overly random guard. Like, yeah, I didn't come here to fight. I'd come here to see you, mother, not to start a war with this clan. I have no purpose
Maybe there
to start a...
Maybe there is a solution that pleases everyone. I mean, my lady, how long do you think the Pinkskins of the South will keep bickering among themselves? At some point they're bound to stop, and they'll look north for expansion. Kingdom or no kingdom, alone we will not. We will pretty much a speck of dust on their blades. Let me ask you this, my lady. Which is the bigger number, 5 or 1?
And after that, she looks at you, Durotan, and then she asks you a general simple question. How about you, Orc, that have yet to introduce yourself? What is the best solution?
My name is Durotan, my lady. The best solution is...
That's when he, with one hand, he does the number 5.
5.
And he does a closed fist.
1. One unity. A real unity. Together. Side by side. Shoulder to shoulder. Blade to blade. We can accomplish the impossible. Why don't you and the Blood Axe join with us? Everywhere the Frost Wolves is making a coalition of various races who wish to live peacefully with one another. Because we only have one goal in common. The prosperity of all of our people. That we do not disagree upon. The Blood Axe sees their own prosperity. You seek the prosperity of your own people as well. So, why not put your hands together along with us and share the place? Alone we will not be standing much longer. We will fall, one clan at a time and one warrior at a time. But together, we can make sure that never happens.
You speak wisely, much like Rhin'zey, Durotan. I believe you were raised as much as a warrior and as much as a future leader yourself. And then after that she turns to and looks at Elgen. And how about you, Elf of the Desert Fire? What do you have to say about all of this?
While I agree that you will take them into better care and will end up on a dinner plate or worked to the death, they need to have their own freedom. Sure, they're a weaker race doesn't mean they have strong cultural needs. They need to, instead of being worked to death like the humans would, if they need to go and, do something, they should be free to. Just because you don't agree with what they do doesn't mean, their morality will break.
That's what I want to talk to you about later. But yeah, I agree.
Tyrson's mother, Lex, and said, It's agreed. Then after that, she walks over to Naraki, and after she said, my business with you will be concluded, but I would let my son talk to you, Manarake, and perhaps Durotan and Rhin'zey and the others. Perhaps you can actually come to a conclusion on what might happen. Then Manarake and then looks at your mother, Tyrson, and she said, Lady Lexopal, I do agree that business sometimes will be done either through bloodshed or even perhaps peace. But before we can continue, my other guests have arrived. When she actually mentioned other guests have arrived, and after that you see a cart coming over from further towards the east. You see it moving slightly ever slower and moving towards the camp. You see 4 people jump down from the cart itself, walking over towards the others. And Cornelius, when you see this particular person that walks, you notice that it's actually a warlock, a familiar warlock that curses you to be who you are right now. And you see this bald-headed man wearing his robe, carrying his orb, escorted by 3 other people. And then you see Manarake walks over towards the warlock, and after you hear their conversation, even though it's soft. Roll for perception, all of you. Those that roll high can actually hear the conversation. Roll will not be able to hear. Okay, pass.
Okay, I'll be rolling.
Okay, Waruay fail, Varius pass, Tyrson fail, Rhin'zey fail. Okay, Cornelius fail. Okay, Durotan fail. Pass. Okay, Elgen, only Elgen, Varius, and Durotan actually hear the conversation between Mandarake and also the warlock. Okay, Cornelius, you actually stood there. Okay, roll for wisdom saving throw.
I say I hide behind Rhin'zey. I will
Okay,
assume this
if you
is
hide
Icarus,
behind-
right? I will assume this is Icarus, right?
That's Icarus. Okay, that's
Okay.
Icarus. Roll.
I-
Okay, since you're behind Rhin'zey, roll for wisdom saving throw with advantage.
13.
Okay, pass. Right. Unless otherwise you roll 1, you probably attack him on the spot. Alright.
It's like in my mind,
Yeah,
I just say that no, what is he doing here? He shouldn't have been here.
Okay. You hear the conversation. Those that pass. You hear this bald-headed man holding some sort of magical spear ball on his left. And then he said to Manarake, do you have the specimen that I requested, Manarake? And Manarake then speaks out and said, yes. She bowed. She shakenly bowed to him, not brave or not stern like how she was when she was actually talking to the rest of you. She actually bowed her head low, kneeled before this man. Then, okay, Varius, you see this man, you know him particularly. Okay, roll for history, Varius.
Rolling history. That's a no.
Alright.
Oh
You
dear.
see him, you only know him as Icarus. But other than that, other than the name, I have no idea. But you notice, okay, those that's near Cornelius, which is literally everybody, roll for insight, except for Cornelius.
Normal, is it?
Yeah, normal roll.
Okay.
DC 15. Some fail.
Is this to do with Cornelius's behaviour?
Yeah, Cornelius behavior.
I've already rolled.
Varus pass. Okay, who else haven't rolled? Rhin'zey haven't rolled yet. Okay, only Varus actually noticed this. Okay, Varus, you actually turn to see Cornelius actually hiding behind Rhin'zey. You notice that he is actually terrified, scared, looking at this particular person, the man known as Icarus, that's actually talking to Mandrake herself. You're not too sure what's wrong with Cornelius, but perhaps you can actually bring up this conversation later once everything's complete, once everything's done. You hear this mage, this warlock actually talking. Cornelius, you're completely terrified, but you hold the hilt of your weapon tight, wanting to lunge to attack him, but this is the only person that could uncurse you. And the orc lady that kneeled on the sand and looked up to him and said, "The specimen will be sent over to you, to your tower, Icarus. It will be sent. The dead kobolds in the cage, their bodies, we will put them into pieces as requested, and we will capture the others that you have asked." And you see the bald-headed warlock and turns. "I see that you have one particular kobold over there." And then he points at Waruay. "Is that for sale?" And Mandrake speaks out and said, "Sorry, my lord, that is not ours. It is owned by them. If anything..." Before she could even continue, he raised his hand and asked her to stop, his palm right in front of her face, pushing her away. Then after that, he walked closer towards to you, Tyrson, and others, and after that, he looks to you, Durotan, and said, "You orc! You orc! How much for that kobold over there behind your shoulder?"
I just simply look at Waruay, then look back at him and just say,
Your weight,
He's not for sale.
No, wait.
your weight worth in gold, that's how much. Yet again, friendship is not even for sale. He's mine. If you want a kobold, go find your own.
You see the three others stand behind him and said, "If our master wants something, he requested for it and he wants it personally. If there's a price, there's always a price for everything." Before, you notice that this so-called barbaric of a man is like, with his blade that seems to be glowing with magical energy, with runes inscribed of it. You notice that its smile itself is sinister enough to send chills behind your back. And after he said, then the warlock actually raised his hand to stop his people from talking and said, then he turns to you, Orc, and turns to you, Tyrson. It seems that you're a man of words, and it seems that your barbaric orc behind you does not know the meaning of business. He turns to you, Tyrson. How do you respond?
Well, I would sell him, but I love him too much. So he's not for sale. And tell your goons to stand down. We didn't come here to fight.
I'm not here to fight. I'm here to do business. 1,200 gold pieces for the kobold behind your back. Friends can be sold too.
Let me think. No.
Then you notice that this bald-headed man then turns to look at you, Waruay, and then he said, "You're a very fine breed, you are. You might even be the one that I need."
I think you're the one I need too, but I'm not sure.
Then after he turns to look at Cornelius behind Rhin'zey. Okay, Rhin'zey, you see this warlock that's actually looking at Cornelius. What do you do? What do you say?
I don't know. This guy is looking very ominous in a way. I want to turn to Durotan, and whilst Cornelius is still behind me, I was like, Durotan, what does your instinct say to do in this situation?
For now, keep calm. The scale is unbalanced.
It basically translates into certain death, don't do anything foolish.
I already knew that.
Yeah.
I had no intention of getting into that.
Yeah, I take their.
I don't know. I don't know what to say in this one. This guy really wants this kobold, and we don't want to let him have it. It's like I'll reiterate what all my friends are saying here. I got him and say it's like no one here, not even you, is up for sale.
He laughed. Ah, friendship sometimes can be bought. Then he turns to point at you, Elgen, you elf. You, the druid of this land. And what do you say? Do you know of any other kobolds such as it around the lands, so that I don't have to buy it from you and your friends? Will you care to tell me where they're from?
Not for a price. It'll cost you for my information.
Ah. And then Waruay, you turn to look at Elgen and he said, "Whoa, price." And the old man said, then he took out a gold, then he took out a pouch. He throws it right in front of your feet. There's 100 gold pieces there. Of course, if the information is wrong, if my scout here to head over to that location that you mentioned, I know that stuff. I know that garment. You're from Onahole. What's your name, elf? He asks you.
Again, that will cost you some more.
Well, you better tell me. Where do I find these exquisite kobolds?
Since you paid for that much, picks up the 100 gold, and we'll turn around and say, you won't even find one of these anywhere else on this continent. And that, I assure you.
Anywhere else in this continent, it does not matter. You can take that money and keep it for keep's sake. And then after that, you turn to see one particular person looks at you, Elgen, and then you see him licking his blade, and after that, he points his dagger right at you. Take the gold, elf. Because that'll be the last thing you see when you sleep. Permanently, of course. And after that, you notice that the warlock tells him, we shall not do anything for now. We are here for business. The three of you head towards the Herbert. Then after that, you notice that one got over. We all notice one particular person is just very, very quiet, holding two axe apparently, his face covered. He didn't even say a word. But it seems that he is the one that sends the most chill down most of your spine. Here, roll for wisdom saving throw to all of you when you notice this man with his two axe in his hand. Elgen passed, not feared. Varius passed. Cornelius feared. Durotan not feared. Tyrson is feared. Rhin'zey is not feared. Okay, Waruay, Tyrson, and Cornelius is feared by this particular man. But others, no. They're not taken by fear. Then this warlock led over to Marke and said, it seems that you have made some very good business companions. Of course, I like that one the most, apparently.
Herbert, before anything happens, does Cornelius know any of the three thugs or whatever they are called?
Yeah, you know them.
Oh, I know them. Okay.
Yeah, these people are hired mercenaries and hired assassins.
Okay.
Okay, and very high above this pay grade for the warlock to chill for. And of course, these people are affordable if you have the money. They can swing both ways. Doesn't really matter actually. Okay, Elgen, you have 100 gold pieces, yeah, for free for the warlock. But better be careful though. You have a side quest already on your head.
What was that?
Keep the 100 gold pieces, but you have a side quest already on your head. Your character's a target.
Why?
Meaning to say you have become their bounty list.
Well, pretty much. I told him what he asked.
Yeah.
Right,
Yep, you did.
He said, "Where can I find one of these typer in these parts?" And I turned around and said, "You won't find one in this country."
Yeah.
True, he
Don't worry.
never lied about
It won't happen anytime soon.
Yeah. Definitely.
It won't happen anytime soon, so you don't have to worry about it. It's a random encounter. It's a very random encounter. Okay. Anyways, you hear a conversation between the man and Mandrake, and after that he said, I want the orcs to send over the parts, the kobolds that died, of course, to be sent over to my tower, as usual, and you'll be paid in full. And the scrolls and most of the potions will be given to you and your clan, and of course, your people will be trained in the arts. Then you notice that Mandrake actually bowed her head. Thank you, sir. And then you see him moving towards the cart, and after they head out, and then you see them moving away towards the east. And then after that, you notice that the mother then speaks out. You have very good friends, and I thought I was your best. Ah. Then she turns to Tyrson. My son, come over here.
Okay.
Then after that speaks. This conversation might be a bit secretive in a way between you and Mandrake. So, Tyrson, among your companions, who do you trust the most?
I sort of trust almost everyone. The Varius guy, the human, he's a bit hairy going, but I have to teach him a few things, but he's alright, I guess.
Varius, that man over there, standing by his lonesome. Is that Varius?
Yes, sorry.
I sense something from him. I'm not too sure. He bears some things, but it does not matter. And then after that, he turns to you and said, Mandrake, would you be so kind to actually deal with my son and the rest of his friends in terms of the kobolds? So, Tyrson, what do you want to do with the kobolds in this cage? Send them over to Waruay? Of course, I have brought them over.
Yeah, like, I think, that's a great idea. Send them over. I think, I sort of need to have a discussion with the group of just the fine print of everything, but everything should be fine.
Once you finish discussing them, then the rest of this kobold will be released, and then we'll be following you overall. Perhaps I will be leading them ever straight to Val. But, as mentioned, does your friend even know who you are, my son?
I chuckle.
What you are?
I chuckle. No one does.
After she's finished whispering to you, and then she said, better keep it that way.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're probably going to stick your heart.
In my training, would have I been able to have some sort of sense that something isn't right?
Okay. If it's just normal conversation, you have to roll for perception with that. But if it's something is not right, you have to roll for insight for that.
Just like over the time that we've been traveling together, would have I picked something up that isn't right?
About Tyrson?
About Tyrson with my druid background, that druids pretty much are against like that kind of blasphemy, and also the fact that we're both wood elves in quotation marks.
Yeah,
That something
he's a
doesn't
wood elf.
quite add up.
When he rests 4 hours, just like you meditate. He also meditates. Other than that, when he meditates the same, cross-leg, humming maybe, and you probably won't even be finding anything wrong because he can just consume dreams by just meditating.
Alright,
Oh,
cool.
I
Just wanted to see.
But Dampiers is quite rare at this time because he comes from the east. He comes from the far east of the lands. You'll probably find out sooner or later. You probably won't even find out now, actually.
Yeah, that's fine. All good. You're up.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Tyrson, you want to discuss this with your companions? About what you said?
Yes. I'll discuss with any discrepancies with my companions, and I think he's all good. I agree, and I follow your lead, Mother. The only thing I would sort of change, nodding to the head slaver, if you probably find extra merchandise, you're probably interested to buy. Many hands make light work. And alive, of course. Not cut up and yuck. Yeah. But anyway, but everything's all fine here. So I'll give them a nod, and I'll make sure no harm and no fighting becomes of this. I will not stand for it.
And then after that, and Mandarake then looks at the mother and then looks at you, Tyrson. And then she said, the orc lady then asked you, so what of the other kobolds further to the northwest of the lands itself? My people have perhaps captured a few and bringing them down over here as we speak. So do you want those kobolds to be oversent to the vows, or we keep them to be sold to the others that comes to buy them?
Look to Mother and the slaver. I think just send them to Val. We're more than happy to buy them, I guess. Looking to Mother, and if you have any objections with that.
Mother looks at you and said, no. But, and the mother then said, other than the slaves, would it be possible to actually not enslave them? Then after that she looks at Mandrake and looks at you. Listen.
Sure, I have no problem with that.
But,
look.
And then after that, then Mandrake then said, if we do not capture the kobolds or any other of those people for slaves, we have lost our income. Our business will be jeopardized, of course. And our clan will suffer because of that. But if there is, of course, perhaps a way, I believe. But it is up to you, Tyrson, if you want to do it. And you and your companions, of course. It is a rare gem.
Yeah, I agree. I was sort of going to discuss with the kobold guy, Waruay. We actually was thinking of heading over there after this, or put it on our journeys to go over to the kobold caves and talk to the leader there and help us. But because you are worried of losing any coin, we're always looking for good, strong, muscly, look around people to help and protect our village as well. So if you can't find a coin in slavery, we're more than happy to hire your services for something else, or protection, till we get things sorted of security-wise. Because recently we're having a drama of animals, and elder people going in the forest, and we just don't have the resources to look for them or protect the village.
Roll for persuasion.
Yep. Oh, sorry, wrong one. That's the perform.
Coming in front of her. I'm dancing. Woohoo!
Sorry.
It's like your mother looking at you. Son, what are you doing?
But
Sorry,
it's
mother.
still another type of persuasion. It's that you are pleasing her in order to do so.
Yes. All right. Okay. The orc lady and looks at you, Tyrson, is that it is not up to me to speak if my people are willing to leave the mountains of the south and head further towards the north of where you stay. We are not good fishermen. We are not good people when it comes to staying in the mountains. And it's less colder down south than it is to the north. Just that to you. But if you can tell the kobold over there, points at Waruay, to speak to the kobolds to the north, west of here, in their village, then if you are to help us and we stop our trade, then the humans to the south would still get more slavers to work for them. There are many more slavers in the land, young Tyrson. We stop,
True.
others will take over. But if you are able to persuade my father, which is to the mountains to the north, to the southwest of here, if you are able to persuade him and talk to him, then perhaps we can strike a deal. But my father requires something that would persuade him even greater, if you could manage. There is an ancient dwarven ruin near the kobold village. So speak to the kobold leader, but I tell you one thing. They only speak Draconic. If you even miss word or miss say of what you want to say, they will attack you and all negotiations will be lost. But if that ever happens, do not kill them.
Okay, most definitely. So, I first have to discuss with the group I am with, but I agree. If we take your services, there's always someone else to replace you, and because you and my mother have great dialogue, I think for the time being, what you are doing now is fine. So otherwise, if we decide to change that, I'll talk to your father, and you probably will get notified from him. What do you think?
Yes, but first, there are more people I need to look into. And besides, she looks at your mother, and your mother said, "It is getting late, my son. If you need to discuss and need to leave with your fellow companions, it is best you talk to them first."
Yes.
Okay, Tepes, you can start talking to Waruay. After you roleplay with Waruay, then Elgen, then Varius, then Rhin'zey, Durotan, and lastly Cornelius. Okay, go ahead. And I'll
Okay, I walk over and just okay. Well, wait. The deal we have struck with the slaver, she's gonna keep on doing her business, but most of the kobolds will come to my village. When they're at my village, they'll be doing some labouring work, and we will be teaching them to be civilized and can think for themselves than just bloodlust and worry. Then after a while, we'll give them an option of freedom and bit of land. And in the meantime, we'll give them food, treat them well, because a live asset is better than a dead asset. So, and the cave to our west, we're thinking of going to, they are going to take some of them and sell them to us for the time being. Just because we have a proper dialogue with the slaver, we can convince them not to slave, but someone else will take their spot because there's still high demand of this cobalt delicacy. Because of that, I agreed to keep the slavers in business for the time being, till the high demand of kobolds dies down. Then we can do something about that. Till then, we can't really do much, but with great time and great patience, we can do a really good solution for them.
Well,
What do you think, Waruay? I know, I know you want them to be free and all that, but the problem is some other slaver will gonna chop them up and send them east. Oh, sorry, not east, south, and we've got to start the whole negotiations there. And we don't have an army to wipe out all slavers. So
Then at least this is going to be the start of forming such army. See if you can get the orcs
Yes.
to join us. With their help, we can at
So-
least have warriors to formulate
Yep.
such army.
So with the orcs and slavers and all that stuff, because I have to speak to the clan leader. She's not the clan leader. She's, I think, a second in charge of the clan leader. But the clan leader wants something from a elven Bristol, I think. Sorry. To make the deal proper and like a spice to a good recipe.
If we can get this crystal, then this orc tribe will stop being slavers.
Yes, but
Between you and your town community that you're building.
yes.
Maybe
So
fight other slavers.
yeah. So if we pretty much take their business away, other slavers will come in and take up the business again. So I think at the time being is to keep whoever's in charge here, because we have great dialogue with them, and yeah, just to make it easier. But I know, again, you want them to be free in the wilderness, but it's just at this time it's impossible.
I look around and look at all the kobolds in the cage, and I sort of turn back to Durotan and I say, Durotan, you were right. Your way is the only way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will help you build this empire that you want. And I understand that now. I understand. There is going to be a price of blood to build it. But it will be worth it in the end.
Whatever we do here today will set the scale for future generations to follow. It's better that we are to unite everybody here rather than to bicker among ourselves like ants on a rotting carcass. Let's make sure that we are united so that whoever comes after us, he'll have hell to pay.
Exactly. But at the moment, I turn to Waruay. Can you explain the kobolds are here in Draconic? We are not going to eat them, or we'll make sure they're safe and well-being. My mother will make sure that happens.
Look at you and look over to your mother. It's like, so I have your word that you won't devour them?
I just chuckle as I know we don't eat kobold.
I'm sort of I like tilt my head in confusion by that. It's like maybe I misunderstand the word devour.
We don't eat. What? We're in devour. What? Like like what?
Yeah, like a misunderstanding of language. It's like perhaps I don't know that word in common quite good enough.
It's all right. We're not going to devour them.
So you promise them that if they work for a bit, that you will give them the opportunity to be free.
Yes, and more educated to be not aggressive. To be, me and you having this conversation right now.
I understand that we can't fight our way through this, so this is the way now. So I understand, and I nod and say I will tell them this, and I will climb down from Durotan.
All right, thank you.
And
I turn to everyone. I guess you hear all this. I don't have to repeat this.
Yeah, you can just assume that we heard all of that.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of role playing, what Rhin'zey will do is that he will go around all of his cages, and the kobolds may or may not understand him when he say it, but he's gonna put his go as close as possible because he doesn't know what the nature of them are, and in his language, common language, he would say, "I will free you one day, and one day you will be called my brother, and one day you will be fighting alongside me for the peace and justice of this world and realm. But until then, stay alive, because I will come for you very soon." And he says that to every single kobold in the cages.
I'll go around and translate that into Draconic. Once I've spoken to him.
Okay, as I worry, when you roll that and translate everything what Rhin'zey said, you actually followed Rhin'zey around from cage to cage, and then telling them roll for persuasion with advantage.
Me or him?
Waruay, only Waruay.
Okay.
He's just following you around because every time when you tell them, we will free you from your cage, then he will translate everything into Draconic.
And I will mention as well about essentially now we can't fight our way out, but we've made the Pale Skin has made a deal. And for now we must follow him, but then we will have our freedom. And persuasion. Oh, damn. 20.
Okay, they hurt you. Then after that, they just speak back to you in Draconic and say, then we will wait for your return. They speaks to you again. Waruay.
I'll ask him why I'm going around. It's like, where did you come from? Where's your clan? Your tribe? Are they safe?
They tell you that. Then they tell you the tribe. Their tribe is further to the hills to the northwest. And then after that, look for. It's like it's two pillars of stone, and then they will find them. Then you will be able to find them.
I say thank you. I say I must warn them about the other slavers.
Mm-hmm.
Does Rhin'zey hear this? Like, will Waruay translate that to him? Because he's the one who's speaking to them and he's
Yes.
translating and all that?
He's speaking Draconic though, so you probably won't understand why he's trying to tell them.
I won't tell them about the 2 killer parts until we leave. I'm not going to mention it anywhere near the other slavers, just in case they hear it. So I won't speak it in common until after we leave.
So, okay, yeah. So you don't even whisper it to me. I got it.
Yeah, I don't know how essentially powerful these orcs are, especially the late, considering that they've been taught seems to be magical powers from that warlock. So I'm being very cautious.
Okay. Well, out of character, I don't mean to metagame, but it was because I've heard what I've heard. Maybe we could possibly do like a side quest where we actually go to their village and protect them or something like that. I don't know. Like protect more kobolds from being enslaved or whatever.
Yeah.
We already had the quest where we have to bring the kobolds away from that area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, alright. I wasn't there last week,
Yeah,
so I don't know
we
the
got
backstory.
We got that last. No.
Yeah.
Before.
Gotta warn them that, yeah, more slavers are coming, that they have to leave the area.
Okay. Alright, good mission. I like this one. Alright,
Yeah.
let's proceed.
That's why I didn't want to say anything in common, because I don't want to tip off the any of the slavers that where they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
By the way, they know where they are. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I don't know, but they know where.
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, that's all right. I didn't tell you. Sorry.
No, that's alright. Yeah, I failed on some of the listening checks, so I didn't listen to the entire conversation.
Okay. Alright, how about the rest?
Durotan is like just, watching and listening and remembering the whole conversation, and he just doesn't want to say or do anything that ruins the current mood, so he just, want to hold his judgment until we're out.
Alright, well, I guess Rhin'zey would say it's like, well, he heard the kobolds speaking back to Waruay, and he has no idea what they're saying. And he looks trying to prompt Waruay to tell him what they said, and I assume that Waruay would look back at Rhin'zey in the eyes, and he'll shake his head like, not now, or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I'll say very good. I look around and I sort of think for a moment. Then I try speaking to you in Undercommon to see if you understand that.
Do I understand Undercommon? Herbert?
Do you even have it in your character sheet? I should be asking you.
I don't think so. It's
I don't
either
think you
Leo
do.
and
I don't think you do have Undercommon.
No, okay. I thought it was just a variation of common, but alright.
No, Undercommon is a Dark Elf language.
Oh, okay. Then I definitely don't understand it.
Yeah, with that, once I realize you don't understand what I'm saying, I sort of nod and give you like a thumbs up, and saying, "We're good. I'll explain later."
Oh, okay. Alright. And, what's his name? Rhin'zey hears that and understands that, and then he proceeds to go back to where the group is. Ready for the next piece of action.
I'll mention to the slave and mother. They came to a conclusion, and the Waruay has spoken to all. He's in the midst of speaking with all the kobolds to come with us, with you, mother, when you go. So our, I guess, business is done here. I just need to fill up my water skin. It is hot.
Okay. Alright. Your mother then looks at you and tells you, don't spend too much time on the sun or under the sun, Tyrson. But you do what you need to do. Well, I need to travel back to Val and make sure that your sister is safe.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I hope she doesn't scold me. And I bow and head over to the group and say to the group, our business is concluded here.
Okay. Your mother walks away while you actually discuss with the rest of your companions. And then, okay, rest of you still want to do something else here or head out? Or rest somewhere else in the wilderness?
I would,
We can always
yeah, I
rest.
would say rest out in like a nearby area.
Yep. You definitely don't going to be resting here, but outside of this encampment, you actually make camp and then rest for the day itself. Yeah, then we just reduce your rations.
Okay.
By one?
Yep.
Yep.
By
by
one,
one.
right?
Just by one.
Yep. Okay. Where's my rations?
You.
Done. There we go.
Okay, after you reduce your rations and after the rest, then you all actually decided to actually move out.
Well, the map's still blurry. Is it just me, or?
No, just you. Because to me it loaded normally. Okay.
Okay, this is where you all at the camp. This is the other orcish encampment, which has already been revealed to Tyrson. Okay, just over the mountains. And this is where the kobolds are, over the cliff. And this is the ancient dwarven sanctuary, an ancient dungeon, which Wandarake actually told Tyrson about.
Oh my gosh, I have such warm memories about dungeons. Cough, cough.
I'll blow you up again.
Okay, where should we go next?
I think we should go and escort that lady. I do trouble. Is she okay? Because the queen is still out in the sand dunes. Is everyone concluded with that?
Yeah, sure. Let's help you get that done. Sure.
When that lady said to the east, is it to the east and where, like, kind of in the direction that we'd pretty much go for these kobolds as well?
I think so. I mean, that's what you told us. Let's just reach the lady and talk to her again. At least we can hit two birds with one stone. Escort her and reach the kobold of the east. We can talk to them and...
This is the kobolds. Kobolds is to the northwest.
I was thinking also.
This is the orcish village where Manarake's father is. Okay? Where Matari is, you have no idea, but she said it's to the east. Where's Deadra? It's to the east. But you have to go back to back to Onahole, then you have to lead her back to the east, which the east is off the way. But for Cornelius, you do know that this is Icarus Tower.
I can't even see. Okay, this one. Okay, yeah, I saw it.
Yes. So where do you all want to go? Decisions.
The group can decide, but I would like to do some battle. I'm itching for a little bit of battle.
We'll go back to
some harmless
we'll
battle.
go back to Onahole and pray that when we start escorting her, we'll get a battle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cornelius is just gonna be very quiet throughout the whole entire encounter and everything, because after encounter again with Icarus, is just not making him very rational right now.
He's very what?
Wait, hold on. I mean, I meant to say that during the whole entire not encounter, what is it called again? The
No,
journey.
No, we get your encounters a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, the encounter will be there. But then what I'm trying to say is that during the whole entire journey back, I will be very quiet. Because just in character, basically I'm just trying to be a character right now.
Okay, a very introverted bunny. Got it.
Oh no, it's not
Uh,
because it's not because of introvert. It was because of the encounter earlier on with my background story character. So it's like yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I guess the character growth for your character would be to become a little bit braver and more bold and stuff like that, wouldn't it?
No. Kill that
No?
guy.
No, okay.
It's just something. It is something. Basically the guy was the person that cursed me until became a bunny. So by encountering him, it's just that it became me that blood boy and everything. Yet I couldn't do anything because like yeah.
I'll have to do some.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's just continue with the story. Let's just continue with the role play.
Okay.
Just one quick
uh,
question. Is the stuff on a time sensitive matter, like the quests, are they time sensitive?
Alright.
Because if this travel is going to take a couple of weeks, are the other quests sort of going to move on without us? So to speak?
Yes. All you guys gather from my character is he's ready to go somewhere and set shit on fire. He was not happy with what happened and everything.
My character wasn't quite happy with the outcome either, but as he stained and I suppose heart's grown a bit darker.
A bunny on a mission.
Yep, technically yes. My character is button on the mission actually.
Well, if you want to kill something, the bunny wants to kill something. It seems like a clear, obvious decision here. We all go and kill this something.
Don't kill that warlock.
No, not the warlock. Anything but the warlock. Holy crap, no.
Mm-hmm.
But my target is the warlock.
Scary stuff.
Yeah. When you if you highlight on the warlock's name, you see very dark red color on the warlock's name. Instead of white, yellow, or green, it's dark red.
The level doesn't even show up. It's just a skull. Okay.
Right.
But perhaps we need to get some money for us to build up our equipment in order to become a fighting force. Perhaps this travel might help us with that before we go and warn the kobolds and try and persuade this orc clan.
I turn around and say, not yet. There's going to be, like I said before, if we take their source of income away, fair enough, they will help me. But another slaver, people will come and do more horrible things to them. At least
Well,
negotiated to
if there are no kobolds, then there are no kobolds to enslave.
yeah, I agree, but you can't collect them all. There's always more kobolds in the desert, and if we collect them all, where are they going to go? At this present time, we don't have the resources to move a whole clan of kobolds, or even more, to somewhere else we don't even know where to do. So for the time being, we'll just leave it. And
Well,
pretty much,
Durotan are planned for that already, I think, regarding the mountains.
Yes, I was there of the conversation, but the problem is moving. That's a lot of resources. I mean, food, water.
Tyrson mother just brought back like 5 kobolds to Vow. If you want to
Yeah.
bring like a whole clan of kobolds, you have to think about the resources.
Mm.
Okay, I'm starting to see where you're coming from and the larger plan that needs to be put.
Guess we need to like build up like a, I don't know, like a camp where every time we go somewhere, we hunt or we forage or scavenge or whatever. And also find people to craft stuff and stuff like that, so we can carry more stuff around. Like, I think as a group we need to find a way to craft like a cart or something that can help acquire some animals to pull the carriage. Something like that. I don't know.
Oh, I like immediately pick up. It's like, oh, I used to run caravans all the time. Yes, I know what type of animals we need and the carts that we need.
Yep. And to make deals with villages and whatnot, and trade our service for such stuff like that. And we can add it to our party equipment, so we can do stuff like that.
It's like, oh, those creatures that were fighting in the desert, they would make for excellent animals.
So yeah, whilst we're going to serve these kobolds and whatnot, we need to go on a path that will allow us to attain these particular tools or resources, so we can either build or trade or whatever. So we need to go on that particular kind of path.
I think the lady, if we hurry up and don't miss the lady in Onahole, and she would probably help us acquiring those materials.
Yeah, so let's go to that lady and do whatever the lady needs us to do.
Okay, someone needs to roll survival because I am hopeless.
Okay.
I think that was Varius, but he's gone, hasn't he?
I'll roll for survival, and
Can I support him on
you
that?
can actually just roll ahead of me. As long as you roll above 10,
Okay.
I'll be good.
Alright, survival. My character card's loading up. There we go. Survival! What have we got here?
Nope.
Ooh.
So,
Oh, damn!
okay.
Gosh, it was so
What in-
close. Okay.
Okay, I rolled a 17, which means we get to move 1 square back to Onahole, -1 rations. And okay, that's good. Okay.
I'll roll survival again.
I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm ran out of patience really.
What? Okay.
I'm a poor bunny, okay? And I look cute, but I'm fucking poor. I'm like freaking poor.
Alright, is there like a map, or is like somehow we can hunt something, gain rations? Herbert? Where we are right now?
Yeah, you can. It's like I have to roll for nature for that. It's like somebody that can actually hunt.
I'll give.
I'm still doing my nature rolls for the
Oh yeah.
potion mechanic.
It's DC 15 for nature, so 14 is none. So you don't find any food,
Have I
Right.
found?
even berries, even wild games. No.
I will give Cornelius 5 ration packs, 5 days worth of ration.
Sorry, who gave me? Waruay, is it?
No, Tyrson.
Oh, it isn't. Okay.
Yeah,
Then
I
I
have
was like-
rations if you need them.
Mhm.
I have.
I don't have a lot of money to buy rations. That's the problem with my character right now.
Okay, I moved
Okay,
one square after. Oh wait, actually 2 squares since I rolled a 20. That's a second square. Second hex, I mean. Okay, again, survival.
Okay, let me just put it out there. My support? No? Yep.
Okay, good. I get to do it with advantage. That's... Okay, 1 square, and... There's 2 rations, and we move 1 hex. Okay, survival again.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. Elgen managed to find some food in the wilderness,
And that's...
so you don't have to reduce your rations.
Oh, okay. That's good. We move 1 hex.
Let me know if when I start finding potion components and all that stuff as well.
Okay, alright. Nature 16 for components.
Okay, I moved, so survival 1 last time. Okay.
Nothing today.
You can roll with advantage, because I rolled 18.
Oh, okay, yeah, definitely. And I rolled 18 as well, so... Oh shit, wrong thing. So let me set it back to normal. Using only 1 ration. And we are back at Onahole.
Onahole?
Yeah.
Whose village is that?
Mine.
Who's mine?
Elgen.
Okay, Elgen. The land of potions. And wizards and whatever.
Good.
Okay. When you arrive, you see Mufal that looks at you. They say, "Oh, you're back for some time. I thought you were dead." He looks at you, Elgen.
I didn't hear you. Sorry, you cut out for me.
Doesn't matter. The Tabaxi just like looks at the rest of you and just waves. Okay, but you still see Deadra still at the dwarven stables. Currently still talking to the dwarf. And most likely just still waiting for the rest of you.
Alright. I will call Finn back into the staff. And then I will say, "Oh, I'm just going to speak to that young lady again. Just give me a minute. You can come if you'd like." And
Okay. All right.
you're still here. It's unfortunate someone couldn't help you get back sooner, but we're now heading to the east. If you would like someone like us to accompany you.
Deadra, they just look. Well, if you would like, I was just helping Formidable making some potions and perhaps mixing some herbs and dealing with some alchemy stuff. But I managed to get some new stuff from him, and yeah, I'm probably gonna be bringing more of it back to Matahari. But I believe my cart is enough, perhaps only for 4 people inside, including myself. So, some of you will probably need to walk.
That's fine.
Yeah, well, I'm a lion that is supposed to be on the ground. I'm not something to be carried around. Our 2 bunny friends, I think, should be carried around in the carts.
And we will put Waruay as well, just so it's away from prying eyes.
Yeah, don't want to attract attention on the road.
Wait, are we talking near the lady or still talking near the gate?
I'm talking to the lady with Tyrson.
Oh, okay. Good. In that case, yeah. We have to just wait for you then.
Okay. Well, the lady is just like looking at Elgen and said, well, it's like once you're ready and once you stock up, then I'll be here and I'll be waiting.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Okay,
I think
what do the rest of you want to do?
I will try to use my 2 gold pieces to buy rations.
Okay. Alright. Dried rations here. Normal rations
Do,
per
do, do, do they
day.
have carrot rations? Carrot
Okay.
rations.
Okay. Alright. Dry rations here per day is actually 3 silver pieces, okay, for a day of rations.
Holy shit, 3 silver pieces. I can only like buy 6 at most.
You have 2 gold pieces. You can afford
6!
yeah,
Yeah,
6.
6. I can only afford 6. Okay, Herbert, I spent all my gold pieces to buy 6 rations.
Alright, I'll start with how many rations does everybody need?
I will buy 6 rations as well.
No. Just shut up for a sec. That's not what I asked. How many rations would each person need?
Each person.
How many rations?
That generally falls under how many days are we traveling?
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about now.
I at the moment need 5 days worth of rations and some hemp rope.
I've still got a lot. I think I've got about 24 rations left.
You've got enough.
I got about 21 rations behind him.
So if
Deadra tells you it's gonna take about more than 2 weeks of travel. So it's about 18 days at least.
Oh, good. At least we have enough rations to cover us then for the trip to go there.
Well, not for me at least, not for me, because after the 5 rations that Tyrson gave me and then another 6 that I got, I only have like 11. 11 rations. So I'm still down by quite a few.
That's what I'm trying to work out. How much more rations does everyone need to get through?
Total 2 weeks worth of rations.
Assuming we are using 18. Assuming we are using 18 days to travel there, I am lacking 7 days of ration. Assuming if we are taking assuming we are taking 18 days to travel from here to the place that she is going, and based on what Herbert said is 18 days, I'm lacking by 7 days of ration.
I'm willing to give 2 because I got 22. I checked again. I'm willing to give 2, so that means I'll have 20 left.
Just hold on to it.
Okay.
Durotan, you have enough. Rhin'zey, you have enough.
Yeah, we have enough to cover us. So I would say worry about those who have less than 2 weeks worth of rations.
Yeah, so Rhin'zey's got 22 and is willing to give 2.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm trying to work out how much everyone needs so I can buy enough for everyone.
Oh, okay. Alright,
Yeah,
got
I heard I am lacking by 7, so but yeah. I'm lacking by 7.
Alright, so Tyrson, how much do you need?
I need 5 days of rations and a hemp rope.
Alright. Yep. Waruay, how many do you need?
I have 5 rations on me. How many do you need in total? What was it? 20? Did someone say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Assumingly it's 18, but anything more than that is optional.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna base all of us who don't have enough on 20, just in case we have backup.
Yeah.
How much would we need for Varius? Because Varius isn't here, remember?
Varius left. He left a while back, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how much he has. Only Aizen or Herbert has access to his character card. Although I don't know if he's made it in Roll20 or D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Should seem like half.
Oh, Varius left. Oh yeah, you have to work, is it?
I mean, it's okay. We get extra. Anything is better than less, no? So just get extra. If he has enough, it's okay. If it's not, then more for us, I guess.
I will go in, and I will go to whoever I need to get the food. So I want 44 rations. Dan?
44 ration.
Yeah.
44 rations times 3. That's going to be 132 silver pieces. That means there's going to be about 13 gold, 2 silver.
So if I go 13, 107, it'll be 94, and 1 at 93, put a 1 there, and then I take 2 of that, so it'll be 9. Alright, so now everyone should have 20 rations who needed it.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, so everyone has 20 rations, right?
Yes. So myself, Tyrson, Waruay, and Cornelius all should have 20 rations. I will go up to my friend in the general store. Where's his name? I'll go to my friend in the general store and I'll get a hemp rope from him. Actually, no, never mind that. I will give Tyrson my hemp rope. I have hemp rope myself.
Thank you.
So you should get 50 feet of hemp rope.
Yep, I got that.
And then I will go up to I think it's the goblin that's the inventor. And I will ask him what kind of magical items that he has.
You head over to the goblin inventor, and after that he just looks at you and said, "Oh, Elgen, say you want to look at my magic items?" And after that he have quite a few, but then after that he looks at you again. But do you even have the gold for it?
Depends on what you have to offer.
Well, if you're looking for potions, look for Farmado, Watan said. But this is the inventor that looks at you. And then it's more of an artificer than more of an inventor, but he actually creates other stuff. Like then after that, you just go to his shop, then you see a number of stuff like like pistols, rifles, just like hammers, swords that can produce flame. Another sword that he calls it one of his most favorite items. He calls it a chain sword. But if you definitely have not enough money, he looks at you and after he shows you other stuff, mundane stuff. But
I'll ask him if he has a moon sickle.
after that, he looks at moon sickle, and after he said that this moon sickle is created by with a number of gold. It's like molded from gold, created from gold. You look at it; it's actually made 5 gold. That's that. You have a number of it actually, like number of sickles. But there's like one thing that particularly caught your eye is like one that's actually made it's like bluish in color. But then when you look at this weapon, you somehow realize that it seems to produce some sort of electricity. The moment you actually look at it, you hold it, it's like fizzles. Then after that, when you see the goblin, actually said, I call that the storm sickle. It's like, well, sadly for the person that actually created it, he died when he got struck by lightning, but the sickle did not. So, anyways, it's actually sale. And, well, how
The
about this
one
one?
I'm particularly looking for helps me protect my friends a bit more.
Then after you looks at like, how about the growth keeper's sickle? You look at it, it's like, but this is definitely a way above the pay grade. Then you look at it, it's like it's actually made out of like some sort of wood. It's like string a little bit, but the blade itself is sharp. And at the tip of the oak wood itself underneath, it seems to be some sort of vine. There seems to be holding some sort of small little small circular orb or sphere when you look at it. But then it looks at you and said, well, this will probably cost way too much. Probably cost about 500 gold pieces.
So what's the effects on it? Sorry.
And he laughed and turns and he said, well, this created by an oak steel, I call it, but then again, it actually makes your spell more focused when you use it, and it seems to create some sort of, I am not too sure, when you cut through something, it creates a door, you go through it, it some sort can bring you to some sort of magical dimension or whatever I call it. But magic items is quite rare nowadays. You only have see one or two here that you can see. And this actually perhaps like given to me by some other adventurers that don't really need it. But if you're really eager to find magical stuff, you should be ransacking and looking through at all the ancient random dungeons scattered throughout this land itself. Some of them could be quite dangerous, some of them quite easy to go through. But however, some monsters dwell in underneath all these dungeons. This land itself is filled with ancient treasures by the old elves and the dwarf that used to reside within it. If you ever come across in that dungeon on your way when you travel, perhaps you and your friends should actually try and get inside.
Alright. I just thought I'd come to you, see if you might, knowing your skills.
I'm not really good in terms of magic, it tells you. But when it comes to stuff that can actually work for you, like some automatons or some things that can shoot from afar, I'm the person you look for.
Right here. Well, thank you very much for your time.
And after he looks at you, and thank you for yours.
And I will go to the blacksmith and see what he has in the way of cheaper items that will help protect, like that might interest someone within the party.
Okay. Anyway, you head over towards the blacksmith. The blacksmith is actually holding his pet pig most of the time. He sells normal, simple stuff, like simple weapons, martial weapons, and so on. Things they can actually buy off anywhere. But some prices are different in certain locations. Not all prices are the same in each town and villages. It depends on the size, and it depends on the size of the town, and it depends on the quality and also the quantity of the items created. Okay. If you head over to the blacksmith, are you looking for anything in particular?
Well, I want to ask him how much that armor is for the unkeg. Like how much that would cost, either to have it made with materials we supply, or if he's already got the stuff for it, or if there's something that would be able to help out the rest of the party.
It tells the blacksmith that looks at you. If you aren't made to fashion some ankek armor for you, you need to actually give me a full-size ankek, perhaps, or a few of them, at least. But the best piece of armor I could make is perhaps from an ankek monstrosity itself, which is perhaps the warrior, or not a brute, of course. Not its small little children, but its mother. If I find one, kill one, and it's meat. It's meat itself, and not to mention the poison. Would fetch a number of money. Actually, it would actually make someone quite rich, even by killing one. But not to say really rich, but it's more than enough anyway. It tells you. If you could hunt for one, that would be great. An uncaked blackmail would not be that difficult to make if you could kill its mother. Okay. Hello?
Just waiting for them. Guys, whomever is next.
I would like to go to the general store to purchase a card set. If the general store has a card set.
Okay. Yeah, it does have a card set. It's like cards are normally like sold everywhere.
Yep. Hello, kind sir. How much do you have a card set, and how much would you like to sell me it?
He looks at you and said, a silver piece for this card set, if you feel like playing some cards with some people. If you're into the gambling type.
Yes, I am. Alright, I'll grab that. And do you have a exotic knife? I can, it's more ceremony, like a small ceremony knife.
Well, there's this ceremonial dagger they can use.
How much would you think of selling it to me?
Oh, well, this dagger itself would probably look at you, it's like, it's a ceremonial dagger. You look at the dagger, it's nicely crafted. It doesn't really look like your normal, typical, everyday dagger. But when it looks, and he said, what is probably like selling off for about 5 gold pieces. It's a simple ceremonial dagger. Nothing fancy about it.
Would you make it 4 gold pieces? If
Roll
it's alright?
persuasion. Look, materials are hard to find nowadays, like Tyrson. But 5 gold pieces, what I can actually give you?
Well, done deal. I'll give you 5 gold pieces and 1 silver piece for the pack of cards. Thank you. And I heard your shop is really wonderful, and it's true. Have a great day, and looking forward when I come back next time.
All right. Goodbye to you.
And I head outside the gate.
All right. Okay. Who else? Because I'm reading also conversation between Waruay and Cornelius.
I wanted to say before my mic dropped, to the blacksmith, we're going to head to the east for about a month, so we might return with some materials that could be used to craft this said armor.
Now they said, well, if you can find me some iron ingots, perhaps that would actually help. If you do find some pancake along the way in the desert itself, perhaps you should not run away from it. Perhaps you slay it or get slayed for it.
Well, that's the plan. So, better get back to the party. I think we're about to head off soon. So, wish you luck in whatever you do for the next month or so. But be sure to be here when I'm back.
I'll be here. There are many adventurers that come here back and forth. Our business is good as long as the people from the south send people their way. There's money to be made.
Yeah, that's good then. And I'll head back to the rest of the group.
All right. Okay. Yeah, head back to the rest of the group. I'll at the gates. Actually waiting. Okay. All right. Cornelius and Waruay. What do you want to do? And then Rhin'zey after that. Waruay first.
As he's coming through the gates, I suppose me and Cornelius will go over, away from the others, and ask you and say, Elgen, acting sort of nervously, I'll say, do you know magic, right? Do you know of a way that someone can send a message without another magic user knowing about it, such as that warlock?
It's possible. I've been told by my teacher that it's a thing where you can send kind of like a magical thought message to people, but I'm yet to learn it. I could possibly speak to my
Does that
teacher
mean that
for
you do not
help,
know
but
the spell?
no.
Is your teacher far? Because we need to send a warning to our villages. Our villages are near each other. So as long as the villages are warned, then they will warn the other one about that warlock and the slavers.
Elgen would have a quick look around to see who's near, nod to Mafar, and kind of turn my back to him and kind of say that my teacher is here, but not here, and kind of looks looks to the ground.
Because I hear this where I am, I come walk a little bit, power walk. Little one, when we get back to our village, I can talk to my best friend Elgen. Sorry, I think it's Elgen. I'm just thinking. But anyway, I got a friend who probably can send someone across the sea a message. Don't worry.
Wait, who is saying that? Tyrson, is it?
Yeah.
You have such things that you're able to do it. Please don't tell me it's a pigeon. I know you can send a message through a pigeon.
Yes. Certain skills I am aware of my training can send messages all over the globe, but certain people can do that or scroll. So, if you get
ask my mentors, they might be able to do it here and now before we leave. So it's an option.
So thank you for your offer, Tryson, but if Elgen can send a message now for us, then that would be probably the safer bet. And I look to Cornelius and nodding my head. It's yeah, the safer bet, wouldn't it?
Well, the faster it is, it doesn't matter how we do it. As long as it gets the job done.
Yes.
After all,
the sooner it gets there, the better.
Yes.
I'm looking distrustful a bit of Tyson, but trying not to show it. Turn back around to Elgen and say, yes, please, if you can talk to your teacher and ask them to send a message. If they send a message and tell a person, a child called Petra, she will let the others know.
Just wait here for a minute. I will be back, and I'll go throw a stone at the stone.
Mm-hmm.
And then head down and see if... what's the name? Adura is there.
Okay, you head down, you see Adora actually just kneeling at first, just like praying, and then like seemed to be meditating, and after she just got up, and then she just turned to actually look at you, just like Elgen, and then she said, yes, something troubles you, my young apprentice.
A couple of my companions seem to be a bit worried about the safety of their village. With some of this warlock that we encountered to the south. Would you have any means of being able to send word that can't be traced, or can't be intercepted, so to speak?
A spell that could not be intercepted. Some spells could be intercepted if you were to send it magically to some certain individual. But don't you realize, Elgen, that you don't have to look far to actually send a message to someone without using a spell? When that answer is just next to you.
I will look at her with a kind of a confused mannerism. What do you mean?
Your companion, of course. You could just send any. I could send any creature that have wandered to me to send messages to those far and wide. I could call upon a creature that have flight to fly and just attach a simple worded message, of course, to those that I would like those to actually listen. That is what the circle has been doing all this time. The lands itself could be dangerous if there were other evil spellcasters in the lands that would actually pursue such knowledge and such messages. Elgen, as she looks at you, and then as she said, her face then turns and looks at Finn, and she said, you could just write a simple letter, perhaps in a word that nobody would understand, and then just tell your companion, just tell your pet what needs to be done. But you are not that close to the other people with the other villages. Why are you so eager to send messages or send word to people that you're not close with?
Clarification? As in, why am I bothering helping these people? Is that what she's asking?
Yes.
Because I don't want to see other people fall to unjust means. This individual seems to be gathering certain creatures for some sort of either ritual or some. I'm not quite sure what he's up to, but he's up to something.
Who is up to something? He asks you.
I asked for guys. I say his name. I didn't quite catch it. He's from the Icarus Tower to the south.
Icarus.
Not Icarus Town. Not Icarus Town. His name is Icarus.
I thought, yeah. The warlock though, is he Icarus or is it one of the other guys?
Yeah, he is. The warlock is the Icarus, which is a character from from my backstory.
Sure. I thought he had a different name. Sorry. Yeah, his warlock's name is Icarus, and yeah, I fear that these individuals can suffer to unjust and unnatural occurrences at the hands of this warlock. That's all.
Icarus, we know of him, but he have never done Onahole any harm, Elgen. Do you believe that he will do harm to the other villages? What proof do you have if he does?
Well, while down to the south, we encountered this slaver encampment, and Icarus and 3 known assassins showed up at the same, like, not long after we did, pretty much saying that he wanted these body parts of these kobolds, to the degree of even wanting to buy one of the companions from the eastern, like from the east, a more of a silver or white kobold.
If you're referring to the Feral Kobolds to the west of here, that is really not much of our concern, Elgen. If Icarus does not do any harm to the lands, to the rivers, to the forests, or even to the sands itself, we have no quarrel with him. And so far, Icarus is a man of magic and a man of bad science. But so far, if I would recall, he have not done anything to us at all. So I would suggest that you do not interfere with Icarus' work or studies. I do not want to lose you to him. He might even make you as a test subject, even if you do. However, I see no concern. I see no reason for you to do so. You have to stop, Elgen. You don't have to do this. Until we receive any news that he have harmed the lands itself, creatures such as the kobolds, it is just part of nature. It is just a part of the circle itself. But it is your choice then, my friend. It's what you want to do. It's up to you. But you have to listen to my advice. That do not interfere with Icarus' work, no matter. Unless, of course, you feel that you need to do so, then I cannot stop you.
Yes, but in this sense, he could be creating an abomination that, might...
Which, of course, we have no proof of that. If he was to create an abomination from parts of the kobolds, he could be just doing it perhaps to save them, or perhaps to find a way of how to change their feral ways. But
he wanted them dead and in pieces.
Perhaps those kobolds was already dead or in pieces. There's nothing for me to say.
There was 5 there that were quite alive, and he wanted them in pieces at his tower.
Until you can find the proof of this, Elgen, I myself and even other circle of druids will not agree to this, or even to disturb Icarus and his work.
I appreciate your time, Fedora. And I bow and walk away.
Alright, and after that then you just walk away, and then after that you head back towards your companions and tell them the news.
I'll go back to Waruay and Cornelius and say that my mentor is useless.
It's like,
This is true. This is
I
true.
expected as much, Perhaps you can give her the good news by throwing in his head. Maybe then
You
she'll...
should have just brought me with him. I am the proof that you needed.
Mhm.
But not that it makes man any more different than it is now. Well, since Elgen couldn't help us, Tyrson, perhaps you are able to, since you're our only hope in this kind of situation.
Oh yes, it's fine. If we just in our journeys stop by our village, I can talk to my friend Elderman. Really good fellow. But anyway,
Do any of you know of any, we'll say, magic items that could send messages?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that it could help us in this situation.
same. The only thing I know of is the spell, and like I'm not able to cast it. And when I do, they don't even probably know me, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm hearing voices in my head." I think that's more freaky than anything else.
I guess we will have to just wait until we arrive. Then.
Do I know if there's any messenger pigeons in Onahole?
Oh yes, they do, but it comes at it comes at a charge. It's like one gold piece per hex.
Oh shit!
Good
That's
lord.
that'd be like a 200 fucking gold.
Yes. You should ask perhaps the gnome or the goblin how much does a kidney cost?
A what? Sorry.
Kidney.
Kidney.
Yeah, and I'm not. I'll turn around and say to Cornelius and Waruay again. He suggested that I could use my familiar, and I'll jest at the staff and say that I could order him to take this message, but one, he won't be here to help us in our journeys if anything goes awry, and
You will not be able to summon your companion.
I won't be able to summon my I won't be able to turn him into my wildfire spirit.
That's okay. If we encounter danger, imminent survival is more important. I guess we must wait until we get to the town. And as it this mentioned that we are traveling. I overheard that she trades in items. Does she possess any magical items that she could loan us in this endeavor?
Just potions and minor scrolls.
Oh, okay.
I will. Sorry. And I will also go to the alchemist.
And then after that, you see Deadra on her card said, "I'm waiting over here.
She might have it too. I will go to.
Or are we gonna be waiting again?"
I will go to her as we start to go, as we're talking on the cart.
Right.
I'll sit up the front with her.
Go to her. Okay, sit up front, and then after the Waruay, Cornelius, just sat inside the cart itself, perhaps together with Varius, because he probably want to rest his weary legs, and possibly Tyrson too. So meaning only Rhin'zey and Durotan with the strong legs is walking on the desert side by side with the cart itself. As you all head straight to the world map, and then I will reveal the new town on the map.
Ooh.
Oh,
when it wants to load.
So basically, in the travels, I will ask her if she has any materials for potion crafting that I could possibly buy from her.
Basically, it's exactly gonna be like 2 weeks of travel to go and to come back. That's 1 month altogether. Yeah,
But we can buy more rations while we're there.
Exactly.
480 miles.
Holy shit! Well, how do you do this? The whole miles thing. How did you do that?
Mhm.
Even I don't.
One hex is 30 miles. So during the travel itself, it'll take about 16 hex, which is about 180 miles, to travel from Onahole to Matahari, and then back again to Onahole. It'll be another 16 days. So, in other words, you'll be passing this ancient dungeon, which is over here. But it's a choice whether you want to investigate it when you do arrive. Okay. But
Maybe on the way back.
magical items and all those things would have to be found in all these random dungeons scattered all over these maps, which is either here and so on, okay, all the way to Matahari. So during this next travel, okay, it'll probably be continued next week, Saturday, right? Because it's already 3 hours and a half, and then before you actually travel to lands itself, there'll be dangers abound. Each hex will be rolled for random encounters. So if I roll a certain number, either you meet some random merchant, random characters, or random monsters, which you have the choice to either attack or not to attack. All right. Okay. So it's like we are to be continued from here on, and then after that, I'll see you guys again next week.